Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
From the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Okay, everybody, welcome to tonight's Troll Hunt. Happy to have you here. I am your host, Ashton Forbes. Tonight, we will be looking for them trolls in them woods. We're going to start out with that. But first, before we get into the fun stuff, let's start with a recap. So, yesterday, we had an awesome space with Jake Chansley, where we talked about advanced technology being kept hidden from us. I saw Keemstar pop in, and I was like, oh, Keemstar popped in near the end. Turned out that they wanted to do another space because I'd had this like psycho guy named Chris, or Average Chris on Twitter, just go lose his total mind, right? Start writing like whole diary passages about me, like just completely lost it. And then he called in all his ground support as well. So what's been going on the last few days? Well, so you guys know I talked to AARO. So I either talked to AARO or somebody was impersonating an officer, which would be, I'm guessing that's a felony you go to prison for. So I'm 99.9% sure I was really talking to AARO. And then one sec, after I want to fix my camera here. Okay, that's a little bit better. So after the ARO thing, this is where this Average Chris guy who was inside, he was in the UFO Skyfire News chat, and he kept posting all this fake crap, like all these editorials and things, and he's like claiming that he's debunked all these people in the UFO community and stuff like this, and like the whole Soul Foundation too. He's like sitting there thinking he's got like Colonel Nell and stuff and like lies, and I'm going, dude, you put an editorial from the Skeptical Inquirer. It's not exactly a fact-based organization, right? And so he loses his mind, right? And so then I start calling him out, trying to ask, like, what are these people's deals? Like these skeptics out there, like the militant skeptics or whatever you call them, like, why are they wasting so much of their energy, like attacking people that they have nothing to do with? And like, they'll tell you it's like, oh, they're not telling the truth, but the truth is not that simple. It's not like they're the arbiters of truth, right? And so he can't like admit the fact that he's got some kind of weird savior complex, this Average Chris guy. And a lot of them do. Like a lot of these debunkers have this savior complex where they think that they're like saving everyone from the dangerous misinformation. Like it's super weird, man. Like no one in their right mind should ever act that way. Just if you don't like something or you think something's wrong, just move on and live your life. Go do something productive. The Average Chris guy, this is what I told him, is he needs to go, like, get a job or get a hobby, like do literally anything else. So he flips out. He starts writing Dear Diary passages about me. And then he calls in his buddy Osiris, who apparently his name is Jeremy McGowan. And today, earlier, I was finding out someone was posting that that there might be some kind of weird, like, harboring a pedophile connection to this guy. Weird shit. So anyway, Jeremy McGowan, he does a FOIA about my AARO thing because he and Chris get in their little nutty heads that like I'm lying about it and they're gonna prove me wrong, right? And I literally tell Chris, yeah, good luck, man, because like I literally know I'm not lying, so you're just gonna make yourself look like an idiot. And so of course he doubles down on it because that's what idiots do, right? They double down. Like they can't just be like, dude, maybe we're wrong. Maybe the guy isn't lying about talking to AARO. No, they're like convinced that they're gonna bear some fruit from this FOIA request or something. And I'm just sitting here like, God, these guys are morons. And that's not enough, right? So then the Joe Rogan stuff happens, and this happened days ago. Like honestly, a week ago at this point, the Joe Rogan stuff happened, right? And I had decided, I was even thinking about before the Joe Rogan stuff to like, you know, retire from the investigation due to all the nuttiness that's been going on and like how insane a lot of these people are, which you guys heard it on display. And we're going to go through it a little bit tonight, like how literally off their rocker these people are. Because I was thinking like, I need to step away from this. These people they've gotten like emotionally invested in like, they've created some weird parasocial relationship to me that doesn't exist in their minds. And like I either owe them stuff or like, you know, I don't know why they're so connected to me. It's super, super bizarre, man. And so I had retired there. And so in their guys' mind, the thing is I had made the decision like days before this weird AARO stuff, right? And I even told a couple people. The first person I told was Florence DeChangi. And then all of a sudden, these guys, because they're nut jobs, right? Like Average Chris and this Osiris Jeremy McGowan guy and this other local 556 nut job. These guys are literally nut jobs. I actually mean that. They actually need mental health. It's not like a joke. Like they need to go like talk to a psychiatrist or whatever. The one guy we're going to see is like walking around in Iraq with guns, pretending like he's like guarding people or something, right? Like if he's actually a military contractor, the type of nut jobbery that he was doing in the chat and then posting pictures of himself like on operation or whatever he's doing, like he's going to get his clearance taken away. Like that's just guaranteed, right? Like there's a reason I don't talk about my job, right? You're never supposed to talk about it. And so immediately these idiots, like they think that, oh, well, since I made the announcement, I don't even know if my announcement came before or after their weird AARO shit because I wasn't even thinking about them. Then they decide that, oh, in their nutjob brains, they think that, oh, we made Ashton retire. It's us. We're so, like, this is how narcissistic they are. They think that it's like, they think that I'm actually afraid of a FOIA request to AARO where I literally talk to AARO and I have the receipts. So they think that I'm retiring because what, I'm going to be embarrassed or something? Like, these guys are so fucking stupid, guys. So these idiots, right? They are... I just can't believe it. So like, why would I even correct them, right? I could show the DMs with Joe Rogan anytime. So they get in their mindset that also I'm lying about the Joe Rogan stuff, right? So this is how, like, if you're like too deep in the conspiracy where you're like a nut job, where this is what happens to you, right? Is first of all, they think I'm lying about Joe Rogan. So they make a bunch of posts about that, right? And why would I correct them? I'm going to give them as much rope as they want to hang themselves, right? Like, I just don't, it doesn't matter to me what they think, right? And I have the proof I can break out at any moment I want. Right? So like, let them go look like idiots. Let them dig themselves into a corner. And they all did, right? They all did. And so then I show the partial DMs to Keemstar, even though I didn't really want to do it because stuff was leaking out of that chat. But I show it to Keemstar. I'm like, here you go. Here's the proof that I was talking to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan invited me on. I have more proof too. I just don't need to show it, right? And so then they realize that they're wrong, right? And so then they start backtracking. Oh, well, now he's retiring because our AARO FOIA request. When logically, like, if you're going to come up with a scenario, you should at least blame it on the Joe Rogan thing, right? Which is what Skyfire did. So Skyfire puts out this post that says, Joe Rogan influences Ashton Forbes to quit the MH370 investigation, which is also not true. I mean, to a point, like what I said is like, all the big podcasters are, if they're going to believe these debunks, then there's not really a way forward anyway. But the real reason is because of all the haters and the nut jobs, like on both sides, and my opinion already is like, I've already come to the conclusion that the science is real. And I know that's hard for people to believe. I just don't really care. Like I mentioned yesterday. So it's fine by me if we wait a little bit longer. Like the science will eventually get out and these people will be proven wrong again. But in their own minds though, like they think that it's all about them, right? They think that somehow everything's about them, that all the stuff that I'm doing is about them. And they have a huge emotional meltdown yesterday. I never even heard of this local 556 loser. He's just some random loser. And I never even heard of him before. For some reason, he's on the space, and this guy's having a full-on emotional meltdown. Like, I have never met him before, no idea who he is. And it's like, you'd think that he was like my ex-girlfriend, that I had cheated on her or something. Like, that's how angry he was. It was just bizarre, man. We're going to go through some clips because, wow. And then, oh boy, so much stuff happened. So, of course, those people in their FOIA request has nothing to do with the reason why I'm stepping away. And we still got a month to go, so we still got work to do. So then today, the Osiris guy, what was it? So I call out, how did this even play out? Let's take a look, chat. Let's look together. God, I can't even remember how this all played out. This is just so goddamn weird, man. And this goes to show the whole community in general. So I post this MH370, repost this because it didn't get enough views and back in September, right? Where some of these idiots think that like this hurts the families or something. Dude, you've got the families on record here saying that that it was a cover up and that the plane didn't crash. Like literally the families are saying that, man. And so then I don't even know how this played out. Oh yeah, so then Chris does his whole spiel. So I make a post on Chris's post. And this is where because Chris basically clips the space that we're going to listen to here at the part where I'm telling Grant that he's a loser and I don't give a shit about what he thinks, right? You know, of course, without all the stuff where Grant is sitting there like trying to talk about how I owe him peer review and all, and I have to like answer all his questions, and I don't listen to criticism well enough. Well, I don't give a shit about their criticism. You know, it's pretty simple. Why are you even coming into my DMs at all? Go do your own thing, and you're going to find out here in a minute. That's what I told him in our DMs in a very nice way, right? And so, of course, Chris clips it out of context, and then I post about how Grant is just some freaking UFO wannabe researcher, has-been loser, which is what he is. Let's just be honest about it, right? I don't pull any punches. And then John Greenewald comes in, right? So John Greenewald comes into the replies, and I can't show the replies because after John Greenewald bitched out, after he's sitting there like gaslighting like a lunatic, talking about, oh, you don't have enough cheese on your cracker, and dodging every debate, and he won't answer a question about whether or not Susan Gao is passing him information, right? He dodges the question 4 times and gaslights, tries to make himself out to be a victim somehow, and all this is like completely just sociopathic behavior from John Greenewald. John Greenewald, I couldn't have lost any more respect for somebody from the beginning of this to that. Oh, we're going to get to 3220. We're going to get there. Or 3240. Yeah, that's on the list. The Lou reviews. God. And so we have this space, right? And so the John Greenewald stuff, right? Like John Greenewald loses his mind. He gets destroyed again in my replies, like he always does, because he's not even a good troll. He's just an idiot, right? His whole job, John Greenewald's whole job, is putting FOIA requests in. I do that at night after my real job, but that's John Greenewald's whole job. Also selling dildos online apparently is his backup job. So, I mean, everybody's got to make a dollar bill, you know? So, John, you know what? I hope you sell some extra dildos, you know, this month. If you want to get one where we can have an MH370 type branding on your dildos, let me know. We can make that happen. Call me John. So anyway, John Greenewald, of course, blocks me, goes and has his little pouty fit or whatever the hell John Greenewald does. So, yeah, the drama, man, it's insane, man. So this space, after our awesome space with Jake Chansley and with, does he have a discount code for the dildos? Good question. Let's find out if John Greenewald has a discount discount code for the dildos, guys. But these are the people we're dealing with, guys. People who sell dildos and their jobs are putting in FOIA requests, who literally beg people for money to be weird. I don't even know what the hell John Greenewald is, to be honest with you guys. I really don't even know what his position is in the UFO community. I even ask him and he won't even answer. Like these are the people that are criticizing us. People that can't even answer what their opinions are because they're too afraid of not being accepted by their peers or whatever. I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, we got the sad music coming. Oh, and just for the record, guys, I'm not retiring from everything, right? I'm just retiring from the MH370 stuff for a while, at least. Maybe a new thing will come. Maybe they'll find the plane. No. So where should we start with this? We'll come back to the space here. I think I want to start with the DMs. So let's get that out of the way. So part of this space, you've got Grant in here talking about how I act a different way in my DMs and how he was so oppressed by me in my DM. And when he came into me, my DMs, that he had to start making jabs at me and posts about me and stuff like that, which is just, again, these people are off their rocker. I mean, it's just what it is. Like, all the people in the UFO community, the ones that are pro disclosure, against it, whatever you want to call them, like, they're all equally just completely insane. And it's a lot, man. Like, you got so much drama and crying and all these expectations these people have. And then Lou Reviews is in this space too. So we're going to get to him too. But my God, Lou Reviews. I mean, there's so much to say about how much this guy is just a stinky piece of crap. Like, all around, just terrible person. When you guys listen to him in this space, you can just tell he's just completely unhinged. You know, it's like he's a failed actor, and, like, you know, you can tell that he's got nothing going on, and, like, he takes it out on the whole world. You know, like, he just needs to have a whole attitude change. He needs to stop eating so many cheeseburgers. You know, like, I actually worry about this guy. He's actually in these spaces, and, like, you can hear him, like, basically having heart palpitations while he's, like, screaming. He's worked himself into such a froth about what? Why does it even matter, right? I never really came at these guys ever once, but here's the thing. I'm going to stand up for myself. So, sorry, guys. Let's dig into it. Sad piano music. We had 3 people yelling at us yesterday. Ooh. Oh, they were just taking turns yelling. Oh, they were so upset. Ooh. So angry. They had to get their emotions out. Grant, what's his last name? Grant Lavac. Very serious guy Grant Lavac is. He's serious UFO researcher. Let me read his profile. He is, the unexplained rundown, husband, father, filmmaker, student of FOIA, UAP UFO activist and creator of The Unexplained Rundown from Down Under. My opinions are my own. Filmmaker too. Oh, I can't wait to go check out his YouTube. The Unexplained Rundown. Okay, let's look at the DMs, guys. 3,000 followers, guys. Pretty serious. How do I get to his profile? Oh, we got him. These guys really just love to embarrass themselves. It's gonna be fun. Okay, let's see what we got. What's up, guys? Shit. The screen is doing weird stuff. Okay, come on. I'm trying to get this thing over to the left. Okay, here we go. We're good. Full screen. Yeah, you guys know I don't take any crap, right? Let's be honest, I don't take any crap. The difference between me and other influencers is some of these other influencers, like, they care so much about their brand and how they look, right? Oh, you want me to turn this down? Oh yeah, hold on. Volume's a little too loud. For me, it's just like, yeah, I don't care, man. You come at me, you better be ready to get clapped back. You can go ahead and make whatever edits you want and do whatever bullshit you want. People are gonna see right through it because they know you're not honest. Where's the thing? I got too many tabs up, chat. Oh, here's sad piano music. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this was early on too, right? When I didn't have a lot of followers, so I saw somebody with 4,000 followers. And I was like, ooh, this guy, look at he's an unexplained rundown. You know, you look at his thing, and you think, oh, maybe he's somebody that matters in the UFO community. Wrong. Just another guy, doesn't matter at all. Let me know if you have any questions. What I'll say is this is not a joke or a hoax. I'm just a regular person put into an extraordinary scenario. I'm no fool. I've seen what happens to people who tried to do similar things, and every move I've made has been calculated. My goal has been the truth at any cost. I won't make a misstep. Well, I guess I made some missteps, guys, because we didn't get on Rogan, but we came close to the sun. So this was back in October 28. So that was like 4 months ago. If you had asked this person here, this Ashton, 4 months ago, would I have been talking to Rogan? I'm not sure I would have said yes. But I think we did a pretty good job. It says, kudos to you for investing all the time, energy, and effort you've put into date. Have you had any luck securing peer-reviewed data and analysis? Huh. Interesting, guys. This is exactly what he was talking about a month ago. Peer-reviewed data analysis for the biggest conspiracy of all time? Who am I supposed to peer review that with, exactly? I've been talking to literally all the independent group. Half of them had me blocked for up until like a month ago. And the only other person I talked to is Florence DeChangi. She doesn't think it's that crazy, although she doesn't agree. So that's hard to answer. Most academics are too close-minded to even look at this data. I have two physicists who have supported me, Roy D. Herbert and Salvatore Pais. It's no coincidence that Pais responded to me. In less than 24 hours, he recognized his own work on display. Florence DeChangi and I have been talking a lot. She's not closed-minded like the other independent group. I can't tell who's controlled by the government and who is just asleep at the wheel. There's no chance anyone who looked at the ping data or the witness cargo couldn't realize this was a fire and that the ping data is super sketchy at 1840 UTC, which is still true. My background is in healthcare IT, and I look at spreadsheets daily, so noticing the obvious anomaly at 1840 UTC was really surprising to me. Victor of the IG just screamed, "It's normal," over and over again when I confronted him about it, which is true. He still does. Even though now I think that some of it's at least a phone call, but it's weird. If the answer was just a phone call the whole time, he could have just said that. This is literally the biggest conspiracy of all time, and I don't know who is lying and who isn't. One guy emailed me and told me he matched Danica Weeks in a dating app, and all of a sudden she went cold after telling him she's been watched. That's what we're dealing with. Another guy told me 15 years ago, a drunk military friend of him told him that we had teleportation tech. And until I started posting, he was never sure about the story, and it always stuck with him. But now he knows it was real. Another person DM'd me claiming to be from NASA, and so they couldn't go on the record, but they showed the team the videos and they're real. Plus, there's a guy who came to me early on and told me about the nephew of the general, showing me, the nephew of the general showing him the video, his friends with the nephew. He begged me to delete the article with all the messages I posted, so I did after a day. I didn't want him to get hurt. All true statements, guys. All of those things have happened. In my DMs, every single one of those. The physicists are telling me that Congress is hiding the papers about inertial mass reduction because that's how sensitive it is. That's what enables faster and light travel. Somehow I'm in the middle of all this. It spooks me. So that's why I'm disseminating to the world to protect myself. These are Grant Levox DMs. Okay, so that's the most of it. It's probably going to be me. Now it's all about this guy trying to debunk it. Get ready. Separating the wheat from the chaff is never easy. Good to hear you have some engagement with Paez. I'd be interested to learn his thoughts on the hypothesis and the data you've collected. Best of luck, success with your engagement in Paez and others. Thanks. We just proved the fire scenario in the last hour. I'm going to go... I'm going to get people on the record because this proves everything. The biggest story in the history of the world, lol. And I was just thinking about this was the day where the fire scenario where we found out the belly of the fire. And this was huge. It's crazy that even after we were able to figure out that there was a fire scenario, even after we figured that out, people still thought everything was fake. We figured out a whole scenario related to the videos because we could see smoke and a heat signature in the belly of the videos, and then that's how we figured out that Catherine T, the plane was glowing orange because of the fire and the 487 pounds of lithium-ion batteries. Incredible. Still think this was an incredible turn on October 28th. Good to know we have that date now. Hi, Ashton. Great interview with Salvatore Pais. Thoroughly enjoyed your conversation. I had a question for you. Here it goes. On the thermal footage, when the HUD is disabled, do you happen to know what the opacity settings for the targeting box and the crosshairs are? What? Thanks, Grant. I really liked Salvatore Pais. Really intelligent man, highly credible. He's an engineer, clearly. I think there's a chance to unify his theories with the theoretical physics that I've been tutored on. No idea. I know it's a General Atomics drone and the camera's like Raytheon, but we don't really know anything about the settings unless we had someone who controls how it works directly. I'm not even 100% sure on the drone. We were looking at the other options. Seems like 95% MQ-1C, but there's a newer model MQ-9 variant that would have been brand new in 2014. They both look similar, but the only one we can find pictures of is the MQ-1C. Copy that. Thanks for the comments. I imagine it'd be tricky to get a baseline comparison with other thermal footage from the same drone camera. Exactly. All these systems are classified. It's 9 years ago. Okay, now what? Curious to know your opinion on these thermal variations, possible structures. Okay. I wonder that too. Seems like windows. I would guess there's some logical I don't know. I would guess there's some logical explanation though. When I show them the picture here, there's probably some physics explanation based on thermodynamics, and these temperature differences are probably very minor. Many thanks for opining. I appreciate your thoughts. If you have any thoughts, let me know. I'm definitely not a scientist. Listening to alien scientists right now with Salvador Pais, and wow, these people are smart as heck. Make me feel really dumb. This is actually, I think, when we met Dave Rossi. Hey, you're not alone. I had to consult the Oracle's Google for your Paez interview. Great. Lol, I need to upload a very high quality one, blah, blah, blah. I hope this message finds you well. I have another follow-up question, okay? A couple weeks later. Regarding the lithium-ion battery hypothesis, do you believe lithium-ion battery was isolated to the cargo bay? I think it was mostly isolated, but the smoke definitely broke free from them fighting it. Hard to say with certainty. As the smoke appears to emit from both engines, not only do you think that the smoke has found a way to engines despite the fire being primarily isolated to the plane's underbelly? I don't think it's coming from the engines, and I'm not sure why people think it is. I'll admit, that was my observation on first glance. I'm not seeing any big smoke emanating from the underbelly. I'm not really interested in discussing this in DMs, but thanks. If you want to work on your own theories, no one's stopping you. No problem, I respect that. If you're open to discussing this on your upcoming videos or on X threads, I'd be interested in your take. I don't have a hypothesis, and I'm just soliciting commentary on yours as it pertains to the smoke trail. Thanks again. And then he immediately goes and starts making posts about me. That's it. Nothing intense there. I just got tired of dealing with this guy. So, you guys be the judge on the Grant LeVonque story. Honestly, this is probably the tamest one out of all of them. Because we look at his profile, and where's the link? Let me find it. Shit, I don't know where I saved it. Oh, hold on. I know where I saved it. Okay. So then he makes this whole Dear Diary letter about me. You're not really interested in discussing in DM, so he starts just taking me out of context. While I applaud the research has gone into MH370 hypothesis, I submit the following critique on a little debated facet. Ashton, you voiced your opinion both publicly and privately that a lithium-ion battery fire in cargo bay was mostly isolated, but the smoke definitely broke free. Regarding your claim of the smoke trails being depicted in both videos, you further indicated that you privately don't think it's coming from the engines and that you're not sure why people think it is. You also indicated privately you're not interested in discussing this in DMs. I'm happy to bring the conversation into a public sphere for your comment. Who the hell does Grant think he is? Who the hell does this loser think he is? Who makes a post like this? Jesus Christ. I just read you guys all the DMs, right? So you know what he's doing here, just trying to snip things. Like, what is this? Why does this loser think I owe him anything at all? I shouldn't even have to reply to all those messages to this guy. Like, this is clearly just some kind of backhanded slap, right? Just totally wild. Like, if you want to ask something, just ask it in not the most pretentious possible way there is. And realize I was getting like 25 DMs a day. And I don't have time to respond to every single unhinged lunatic that comes into my DMs. No offense, but Jesus, man. Like, you just clout chasing for sure. As people are saying in the chat, 100% clout chasing. Like, these are just the kind of like weirdo parasocial behaviors I don't got time for, man. And we start making posts like this. This is you being disrespectful, man. It was disrespectful of you to be coming to my DMs at all. Don't do that crap. I don't owe you some kind of answer. You're not like the arbiter of what's true and what's not and what the UFO community should believe. You're just literally some loser that doesn't matter. Okay? So we're done with you, Grant. And then there was another post he made later on. I'm not even going to bother going into it, but he then took another shot at me out of the dark like a month ago or something like that. It was super cringe because I unblocked him because this was before the unblockathon, guys. This guy's been blocked twice. Grant LeVonque is such a loser. He's actually been blocked twice. Okay? Guy's been blocked 2 times. 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 2 Because he came back and then he made another post, which I'd have to dig for it or whatever, but he makes another post attacking me again. Right? Just, I don't care about you, Grants. All the haters, I don't care about you. I don't think about you guys ever. Never, ever. Oh yeah, the music's not sad music. We got the synth wave going. Here we go. So it's just like, dude, what's wrong with you, man? And then I unblocked him for this nonsense. I should probably block him again, because Jesus, man. It's that's the thing. It's like he's just as bad as the like debunker trolls are, but he does it in an even more pretentious way. And then the way he gaslights about how I don't take criticism well. Fuck off, Grant, you fucking loser. I don't owe you a goddamn thing in this world, man. Go do your own shit. You know what, Grant? I'm passing over the MH370 investigation to Grant, everybody. Officially passing it over. March 8th, Grant LeVonk is taking over the MH370 investigation, chat. I can't wait to see what he puts out. I'm excited for it. I've made all the evidence available for him, so he has no excuse, right? Obviously, he wants to dig into it, right? Obviously, he wants it. Grant LeVonk, passing you the case, buddy. MH370 is your case on March 8th. Don't come talk to me about it, but just take notes. Okay, we dealt with that, dude. And we might have some clips. Let me see what we got in the clips department. Troll hunting tonight. So yeah, this is like the smallest tier troll that we've got, guys. Oh yeah, okay, so this Chris guy who had a complete meltdown. Jesus, dude. Jesus. So I kept the screenshots from the last time because I knew this Chris guy was gonna like completely lose his crap. Like there was no way. I knew he was completely out of his mind. Anybody that sends you DMs like or private messages like this has got serious issues. Go to Metabunk and see if I've ever contributed. You won't, because you're a literal conspiracy theorist that profited off a tragedy pushing a BX hoax. You're a literal scum of the earth and hide behind a screen because in reality you won't step to the plate and say that man to man. I always back what you say like you're gonna lose your teeth defending it. That's what I do. 100. Keep that 100. New copy paste that has dropped, chat. This is Average Chris. Average Chris, you're the biggest pussy in the face of the world. You never would do shit. What a fucking loser. I handled dead bodies from a tragedy. I was deployed to Jakarta, Indonesia for the tsunami that wiped out over 200,000 people. Got medals for that to back it up. Do you? You don't. So yeah, I don't take it lightly when people like you push bullshit theories off a fucking hoax video and profit from it. So go to your bullshit podcast and keep pushing bullshit. You're on par with the Sandy Hooks BS Alex Jones pushed out. Same shit, different pile. This is what happens, guys, when you just don't ever think for yourself in your whole life and you do nothing but absorb cable television and MSNBC. This is what happens to your brain, dude. So, guys, don't let your friends do it. Having them watch cable news turns you into an Average Chris. My God, what a loser. Holy shit. Unbelievable, dude. And so then he has this guy's like out there writing whole diaries, dude. Whole diaries about me. Like he goes in a whole diatribe where he's like pinging every person in his life that he's thinking about. I'm just sitting there imagining him on the computer all day long, just writing long letters to everybody he doesn't like, right? Everybody thinks that what they're saying can't be true. Because what is his experience? Oh, he read the Skeptical Inquirer. He went on Google and Googled Skeptical Inquirer, and so that told him what the real truth is. Jesus. Yeah, tell us more about your 300 Purple Hearts, too. Jesus, man. The ones I love the military, and I respect the military. It's people like this that give the whole military a really bad name, man. Yeah, people like this give the military a whole bad name, man. If you're a badass, you don't talk about your stuff, you know? It's like when you're, like, super, emo kid, like, real fragile ego, like that's when you talk about your medals, right? When you're super self-conscious but you don't want to put it out there, but everyone can see it, you can read them like a book, right? That's when you start talking about how many people I saved in the tsunamis that killed 200,000 people. So basically, you were just there helping people out. It wasn't combat or anything like that. You got deployed there. Yeah, the problem is a lot of these people need self-help, right? And I just wish, the only thing I'm asking them is leave me the hell alone. I mean, I don't know why I have to say it so much. If this is your beliefs, go somewhere else. Do something else. You're not saving anybody. This guy's got a clear savior process or complex, right? Like just straight up savior complex. He thinks he's got to save everybody from their own dangerous ideas. He's never even looked at the evidence. Why would he do that? How are they this invested? Exactly. Why is a loser like this invested? Like, can you just imagine him sitting there like his wife's like, honey, come, I want to have sex. No, there's somebody wrong on the internet and I need to correct them. Jesus. And then he's trying to act like he couldn't join the space yesterday because he was too busy on Valentine's Day at like 9 o'clock at night after he was out all day to hang out with his wife. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, he was just scared. Yeah, anybody who says that they're the king is no king, right? Anybody who has to say that they're the king is no king. It's kind of like the Game of Thrones quote. I'm not even going to go to the rest of that guy's tweets or whatever. I don't even want to look him up. He's just such a waste. But you'll find, too, if you go to his profile, it's nothing but diary entry after diary entry, right? Even the Luanons hate him. Everybody hates him. Because he's just a completely pretentious, like, thinks he knows everything and has to let everybody else know when they're wrong kind of person. The difference between me, like, where's the line, people wonder, between arrogance and ego and just being confident? Where's the line? The line is when you start telling other people that they're wrong, right? That's the line. The moment you start trying to lash out at other people and say what other people are wrong, just do your own thing. Chat, remember how often I say you're one of two people in the world? You're one of two types of people in the world. You're either somebody who's building things up or you're tearing things down. Average Chris is somebody who's tearing stuff down, right? 100%. He's never built anything in his life, most likely, right? Complete power trip, probably adrenaline junkie. And so is this Area 556 guy who I'd literally never even heard of in my whole life. But he's definitely a Redditor, like, you know, right off the bat. He's a Redditor. You can just tell from the interactions. Like, he's probably one of these nut jobs who's on the the debunker subreddit, like, talking about 24/7. Like, you can tell they have the same personality, right? Like, somehow I'm living rent-free in their heads. I'm their ex-girlfriend they can't get over, right? It's just bizarre. Okay, so Chris stuff, tough guy nonsense. Okay, so then it starts to heat up, right? So let's find it. And so I blocked all these guys too, by the way, like Chris and Osiris and I didn't block Grant because whatever, Grant's just doesn't matter to me. But I blocked. Oh yeah, let's watch this.
On here.
Okay, so
stage. We always have like
it's
the
Lou
number
reviews
one
time.
Debunker in the space, Average Chris, on stage as well.
Oh, there's the Average Chris.
We have multiple different people on here with multiple different opinions. So to describe our stage as just one position would be incorrect. And we have you on our stage all the time.
You're calling yourself a news station. You guys are calling yourself news. That
news station.
That would be like, you know, I don't know, fucking who's in the news, like P. Diddy fucking co-hosting a show on CNN or Fox News, you know, just to take away the attention of his lawsuit. Like, it's just...
The shit would be fire, though.
Be more funny!
Oh, the end is great there. That shit would be fire, though.
Lawsuit. Like, it's just...
The shit would be fire, though.
Be more...
But man, so yeah, okay, we'll get back to Lou at the end. My God, we got some clips to play in a second too, guys. Okay, so Osiris, where is this Osiris guy? Oh, okay, so this Osiris guy, full on meltdown. This is the nut job who is like making up these fake stories in his head about how they foiled Arrow and they're gonna get me. Or whatever, as if like I'm gonna lie about something like that, and then that like I quit the investigation because of them. How absolutely out of your mind do you have to think? How out of your mind do you have to be to think that, right? Like, Just totally wild. So he replies to the thing where I say, because this is after John had already jumped in to defend his boyfriend Grant. So then after he jumps in, I make a post about that. He has this whole meltdown all day long. And then this Osiris nutter, what's this guy's name? Jeremy McGowan or whatever. Apparently he's like he's a retired vet as well, which, man, you guys are not making the military look good here. Like, find something else to do with your life. Anything else. Like, literally anything. Delete your Twitter account. Go do something else. Never come back. Live your life. Touch grass. Whatever you got to do. Jeremy McGowan. Take the advice. It's free. So this guy, he thinks that a good response would be, perhaps Ashton should visit Chris Leto and spend some time playing shuffleboard on faculty grounds. At least Chris admits he's facing a real, and that's commendable. Or the issues he's facing are real, and that's commendable. Hope he recovers and comes back stronger and healthier during his respite. Ashton may need to make some more time off to self-actualize, though. Holy shit. How much of a fucking insane person do you have to be? Just a sick, demented individual do you have to be to make a post like this? Like, these guys, like, it's embarrassing that they were defending our country. Embarrassing. This is like, you're going to go after people's mental health. You're going to attack Chris Leto and make jokes about going shuffleboarding. Dude, if he's having a real situation and you're making posts like this, you're a sick individual, dude. You're like, you probably like did some dark shit that we don't even want to know about. Because that is just messed up, dude. Bringing Chris into the discussion is lower than low. If this guy's not embarrassed for the way he acts, like, then holy shit, he's one of the worst people out there. I thought King Milkfart is bad. This guy's like, I'm going to try to be the next King Milkfart. Sorry, I should just call him Milk Farts. He doesn't even deserve to be called the right name. So, yes, this Jeremy McGowan guy, holy crap. And apparently he's got some dark stuff in his closet. This guy potentially has some really dark stuff in his closet. So when your closet is 10 feet deep, guys, full of skeletons, don't make posts like this ever, man. Ever. So then I said, you're the nut job who was foiling my communications with the ARO because you invented a fake story in your head that I was lying, right? Then you were too much of a coward to even show up to a 45-minute space where it was revealed that I wasn't lying about Joe Rogan. These guys, he was such a coward on top of that. Like, this is a guy who's trying to be a hard guy, and he can't even join for 30 minutes to a space to talk through his weird, insane drama that he's in, like these weird stories that he's building in his head. He can't even talk through it, right? And then he tries to make some claim yesterday, too, about how, oh, I'm hanging out with the Valentines. No, you're not, dude. You're sitting on the internet like a loser, man. That's what you were doing all night. It's just crazy. So then he says, oh, so I end up blocking him as well, right? And then so here's this local 556 guy who's screaming at us and wouldn't let anybody talk and is cutting people off nonstop. I think at one point he even called me like a piece of shit or something. I don't know if it was him or one of the other guys, but honestly, I try to tune it out in general because some of these guys are so unhinged. So this is like how I'm going to show you guys this post, because I'm going to show you how like people that aren't all right there in the head come up with weird fake shit. And then they get mad at you because they think you believe fake things. The ultimate irony of anyone like this, like Local 556 or Osiris or any of them believing, like saying that I'm pushing fake stuff out there when they literally are pushing fake stuff out there. And then I correct them and tell them they're wrong and they don't correct it. And then they double down on it. Like, that's the very definition of hypocrisy, chat. The very definition. You claimed you were able to report to AAR when you don't meet the requirements, Ashton. Now, I know you won't be able to answer because all you do is gaslight and talk hollow smack. This is coming from the people who are literally gaslighting me nonstop. Like, they project their own insecurities all the time. I don't even know who this guy is. I've never even heard of this guy before, right? But here are the requirements per AARO. You have to be a current or former U.S. government employee, service member, or contractor personnel with direct knowledge of UAP activities. Yep, that's what it says, and I still applied, and they didn't arrest me. How does that make you feel, Local 556? Does it make you feel like an idiot? Because you are one. Hopefully they take away your security clearance so you can stop protecting people with guns, because anyone who's this unhinged, in my opinion, should not be protecting anybody else. And I don't know if you should even have access to firearms, if I'm being perfectly honest. How does being a contractor with a government health provider meet the requirement for not direct knowledge of programs related to UAP? Please do tell. Because I'm staring at 2 videos that are real and and I don't know if they're classified or not, but they're real, and I investigated them firsthand and came together with 14 pages of evidence. That's my direct knowledge of the situation. I can say that there are 2 videos, 19 witnesses. I can explain the event. I can say the time that we zapped it. I have a pretty good idea of who did the zapping as well, including the U.S. government that are filming it. We know who the person is that went to jail over it, named Edward C. Lynn, and he went to prison for 6 years. So that's what gives me the direct knowledge. Is there anybody else who has more knowledge about that than me? That's not somebody who's stuck behind an NDA or potentially a plea deal? No, there isn't. And so what did I say when I talked to them? I said they should go find Edward C. Lynn. I said that they should go look up those videos and see if those are real assets, because that's all verifiable information. And you know what they told me? They told me it's fine that I'm not a person with first-hand knowledge. They said it was fine. I actually asked about that. First thing I said was, is it okay? Because I know your thing says you want people with direct knowledge. I said, yeah, well, in general, we're looking for people with first-hand knowledge. But, you know, it's okay. Because I said I don't want to get in trouble, blah, 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 right? So that's the answer to his stupid question. And for the record, I'd already stated this on another space. So this guy is, like, obviously just out of the loop or gaslighting and making shit up. I'm not really sure what the answer is. Please explain how you claim you had a CAC and then later changed it to a PIV and said you lost it and didn't matter while you were supposedly a current contractor. I'm not going to explain that because that's already enough information to figure it out for anyone who were to look up those terms, and I'm not in the interest of giving away what my job is. And the fact that he's revealing this personal information that I told in private to that idiot Average Chris, this is where, like, there's no chance that any of them, A, have any credibility. Average Chris is a moron. Local 556 is a moron. Right? They're out here like trying to dox me and my information as well, which they shouldn't be doing, because this is extremely, extremely, not just unprofessional. Like, they need to take away this guy's security clearance, make sure he doesn't ever have any job ever again with the government, right? This is just, it's messed up stuff, man. But I must be Nostradamus because I know you're going to gaslight and go on with the unhinged rhetoric as well. Yes, this is extremely unhinged, man. The fact that you even made this post, Local 556, throws into question your mental wellness, 100%. I don't know what you're thinking in your mind that you're doing making this post. Like, I imagine you think that you're trying to get me, or that you think that in your mind that you have a proof that I'm lying, but you are literally a nut job who made up some completely false thing in your head because you didn't talk to me about it and instead decided to try to attack me about it. And you need help. I mean this seriously. You need help. Go do literally anything else. Go touch grass, whatever you got to do, man. I don't like doing this to you, but you need to just leave me alone. I'm going to have to get a restraining order if you ever come back in this country, because after yesterday and all your weird shit, like, I've never seen somebody so emotionally unhinged and attached to something that they actually have no basis to be attached to. Okay, so the other posts. Where's the other guy? Did he delete his posts? Where's his post? Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. Guys, where's the other post? Oh, he deleted it? You delete it? Oh, here it is. No, wait. Oh, I think he deleted it. Did he delete it? And look how nutty these guys are. They think that every account that hates on them is me. They actually think that I have multiple accounts. Like, I have no other accounts. These people are like, everybody, Ashton's everywhere, man. Ashton's on the walls. He's harassing me with all these other accounts. Nope, just straight up right here. I don't know, because I can see his posts, so let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, here it is. Here it is, guys. I don't know what happened. Here it is. Oh, man. So after I told him he was the nut job, listen, you pathetic excuse for a human. First, I submitted to FOIA to verify and to attempt to get a reel on how AARO received, ingested, and analyzed, and what they discussed about it. I would assume that you would find that information interesting, as it could lead to potentially credibility for you, but instead, you attack the very idea of FOIA like a sniveling child. I literally have the DM, I have the emails, man. I talked to them personally. There's nothing that you can FOIA that I haven't literally already shown or talked about. Like, the only reason to do this is because you're some psychopath nut job who in your mind has built up a fake narrative about me. Of course I'm not afraid of your FOIA request. I have nothing to hide whatsoever. I mean, you could literally go back through my other streams. You're not going to find any inconsistencies about anything because clearly I'm just speaking the truth. My God, man. And it gets better, chat. Second, I don't get goaded into coming into a Twitter space, not by you, not by Keem, not by anyone. Well, then what are you doing sitting here talking smack about people? If you don't want to talk about it, then go away. Go do literally anything else, Osiris. You're a retired guy. Go find some hobby to do that has nothing to do with the internet. You really need to just get outside and talk to real human beings, man. Additionally, and I'm sorry for your life structure. What? But yesterday was Valentine's Day, a day that is planned in advance and filled with roses and candies and dinner and family with time with my wife and my daughter. You hang out with your daughter on Valentine's Day? Maybe that was a misstatement, chat. Your ego is so inflated you actually believe that I would rather spend time on a ridiculous conversation with the likes of you than my own family. That is a textbook example of narcissism and delusions of grandeur. No, I'd say this post is one, for sure, though. You're absolutely no one to me. Your trite mentality, unstable ranting hold no effect in my daily life and therefore doesn't exist in a universe in the entirety of the multiverses across the timelines where I would give you any time of day that it takes away from my family. What? What is that, dude? Is that just straight out of a Marvel movie? Is that a straight out of a Marvel movie, chat? I mean, clearly you are mentally unwell and have some absolute obsession with me. If you didn't have an obsession with me, I don't know why you're in my replies. I don't know why you're doing FOIA requests with me. I don't know why you're obsessed with me and obsessed with the case and how you and your boyfriend, Average Chris, are talking about whatever, like all three of you guys and your little like nut job debunker chat. Like, you guys all need help and you all need to go do anything else with your lives. Just literally anything. Just turn the internet off, go outside, go enjoy the sun, walk around with your family instead of waiting for Valentine's Day or whatever weird crap you're doing. But it's clear that I'm not absolutely known to you. It's clear that like I'm living in your head 24/7. 24/7. You are absolutely one of the most self-important man-childs I've ever had the displeasure of being made aware of. I hope to sustain a concussion that erases the memory of your existence. Wow. This is how triggered we've made people. This is how triggered just existing has made other people. Can you imagine coming into somebody else's replies, inserting yourself into somebody else's business with that level of ego and that level of narcissism, and then gaslighting somebody else and projecting it onto them when all they're doing is trying to follow their own path, and that you are sitting there trying to block them, trying to get in their way, trying to get into their replies? Like, that is the definition of narcissism, man. Thinking that everything's about you, thinking that I'm quitting the case because I'm afraid of your FOIA request, thinking that I owe you anything and any explanation and any answers about anything I'm doing in my entire life. That's narcissism, man. That's ego and that's narcissism, and it's also fragile ego. Like, it's easy to crack you because when you're this mentally unhinged, it's like all I have to do is give you a nudge and you're just gonna explode and lose your mind. And that, boy, oh boy, that's what you did. Holy crap, is that what you did, dude? Anyway, read the replies. Oof. Lots of triggers in there. 100%. Projection, definitely. Bot, also true. Also true. Totally pathetic. And if you're somebody who's got a bunch of skeletons in your closet too, like apparently this guy does, I'm not going to repeat some of the heinous things that I've heard, but wow. If any of that stuff's true, man, wow. Get off the internet, bud. Anyway. So let's go to, okay, let's listen to some clips. Oh no, let's check out this Osiris guy real quick. He's a real badass, chat. Maybe he'll tell us how many medals he has. Oh, even UAP Mike's dropping bombs on John Greenewald as well. Oh, here it is. Here he is, guys.
And one of the things I wanted to read here.
So he's got to tell us all his thoughts, guys. He doesn't like Lou Elizondo, chat.
Made up.
He doesn't like Lou Elizondo because he thinks he doesn't tell people that he's not a Rambo, which I don't even care about Lou Elizondo, but it's obvious that this guy's got to give his opinion on everybody else and all their business, and he's got to insert himself into everything, right? And this is why, for no reason, this guy's not even involved in anything that was going on. This guy inserts himself and starts raging on our Twitter space yesterday. Local 556, there he is.
To send up to it. I'll post one published. We literally had.
Oh yeah, he posted a bunch of pictures about his service and where he's been as well. So this is the guy who, like, he needs to lose his military. If, like, there's anyone here who's, like, in the military and this guy's protecting you, find somebody else, man. This guy's not all there.
Well trained badasses, and that's the other thing.
Super well trained badasses. Yeah. This is, guys, you ready for what a badass sounds like? Let's start with this one.
Want to care,
so
not you guys.
What we're saying, yeah, and people want to know the truth.
Yes, and you're not the arbiter of it. Do you get it?
Neither
That's what gatekeeping
you.
is.
Neither are you. Neither are you. Does he just not get it? Is this guy just a fucking idiot? Neither are you. Yeah, well, I'm allowed to say whatever I want. You don't get to be the guy that tells people that this guy's lying and you can't believe him. Just do your own thing, man. Tell your own truth. If you don't believe it, move the hell on. You're certainly not going to tell people it's not true because you say it's not true. You're not a scientist. You're not anybody that matters, dude. Your opinion doesn't matter, Area 556. So get the hell out of my replies. I mean, you're banned, so you're never going to be in my replies ever again. But fuck off. Go do whatever bullshit you're doing in Iraq, guys.
Neither are you. So
Neither
why
are you. Neither are you. Jesus.
You're already getting defensive.
You're already getting defensive when all I'm doing is attacking you out of nowhere. And I don't have any reason to be here because I'm local 556.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and look who's getting unhinged.
Oh, and look who's getting unhinged, guys. It's like the guy literally won't shut the hell up for even 1 second throughout the whole space. Interrupts me like 10 times. I asked him to drop him down because he won't stop talking. Huge, like, these guys are off their freaking rockers, dude. Like, he didn't get bullied enough when he was in school. Like, I don't get what the deal is with these people.
Oh boy, someone's having a meltdown.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm gonna explain it. I don't look, man. Guys, I don't cut you guys down. I don't talk about you because I don't care about you. You're the ones who are talking about me. You're the ones making up bullshit about me. So get it straight.
Boom. Booyah. Does it sink in yet, Area 556? I don't give a shit about you. You're the ones talking bullshit about me. I didn't even know who the fuck Area 556 was yesterday. 3 days ago, I didn't even know who the hell Osiris was. Apparently his name's Jeremy McGowan. Got a bunch of skeletons in his closet. I don't know why you guys keep coming at me and who you think you are and why you think I'm your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're into. I don't really care. But I have nothing to do with you, and I'm only doing this right now because you went off unhinged, off script, and went a 3-on-1 weirdo psychopath attacking of me. Go do anything else, dude.
You put yourself in the center of the stage.
You put yourself in the center of the stage? Like, how mentally unwell does this guy actually have to be? Local 556. Why does he thinks I put myself in the center of the stage? Now he's building up some fake reason for why he should be allowed to attack me. This is like what the hecklers do, right? When they're watching a comedian and they think I paid to be in here. I have a right to heckle you, right? And then they get kicked out and they have a complete meltdown about it.
You're gonna have attention.
Guys, I'm gonna mediate.
Okay, so let's go to the next clip, 44.
Read from knowing him personally. But yeah, I'm not saying that bleeds through Skyfire. I'm just saying I know who Red is. And I know he's one of the people putting stuff out. So, but yeah, just And FYI, I'm in Iraq right now. My internet is shit.
I'm in Iraq right now. So what, dude? No one gives a shit.
It comes and goes, but I don't know any experts regarding this particular thing with.
I don't know any experts, but I'm adamant that whatever you say is wrong. Even though he just says now the truth comes out. Now he gets real somber, right? He's yelling the whole time, interrupting the whole time, screaming, claiming that I'm a liar and all this stuff. And then now he's just, the moment the experts start getting called, well, I don't know any actual experts. I'm going to get them together, though. I'm going to get the experts together. Dude, you don't know a single expert in your whole life, dude. Nobody's coming to your rescue.
MH370, so I'm going to have to go searching. I'm going to have to go talk to people. But I'm going to do all I can.
Lock people and shut down conversations. Just listen.
From some like weird malicious angle. But I think you're wrong, and I think you're really headstrong. And I think you're terrible at taking criticism. And I think you don't.
Terrible. This whole idea I'm terrible at taking criticism. What is up with this idea that I'm terrible? I don't owe anybody that I should have to listen to any of their criticisms about anything. I'm doing you a favor if I interact with you and you want to criticize or come up with whatever, right? Like saying that you are bad at taking criticism is literally what a bully says to somebody that they're trying to abuse emotionally and verbally. That's what somebody says to somebody that. If this guy's in a relationship, I fear for the person he's in a relationship with. I'm sure he's not, but Jesus, man. The type of a psychological manipulation and nut jobbery these guys do, they need some serious help.
Don't engage with people that genuinely want to get to the bottom of this.
No, this guy doesn't want to get to the bottom of this. This is just more gaslighting. None of these people, not Grant, not Local 556, not Lou Reviews, not Chris, not Osiris, none of them want to get to the bottom of this. All they want is for it to go away. They want to go back to their fantasy lives where they imagine that the plane crashed into the ocean and that the TV tells them the truth and everything is safe and comfortable, right? And they can go play Rambo with their guns and pretend like they're badasses when they aren't, right? That's all they want. None of them want to solve anything.
And that's the issue I have. Every time someone wants to actually hash things out.
I don't even know. Just keep in mind, guys, I had never even seen this guy before. And for some reason, this guy's acting like we've been in a relationship for over a year, right? I've never seen anyone this parasocially nut jobbery attached to somebody. What is this? Is this what happens when you go into the military and spend too much time overseas?
Out and have a way to verify those things.
We don't need to verify anything. I don't know why I would have to verify anything to this random guy. I don't have to tell anything to any of these people. If you don't want to believe it, I don't care, man. Move on with your life. Please move on with your life.
Verify, because that's the most important part, is the checks and balances. Every time someone tries to get to the details, the nitty gritty with you, you start getting defensive. And a lot of people in your space the other night were applauding you for your character and the way you.
This guy, so this is where it comes out, right? So he was in the space the other night and he was hating the fact that I got attention, right? That's what this all comes around to, right? He was getting offended that other people liked me and he didn't get any approvals. And oh no, Ashton's being told that he did a good job. Verifiable, dude. I got 14 pages of evidence that nobody has debunked. Nobody has debunked it. Nobody's even tried. Pinned to my profile for the last 3 months, man. Area 556, if you want to pretend like you know something, go take a look at the evidence, buddy. Go read through it. Let's see if you can read 14 pages. I'm not sure you're even capable, but, prove us wrong.
Act in public is one way. But I've seen your DMs.
I've seen your DMs. So why is this nut job reading my DMs? Who's giving them to him? Oh, average Chris is. You've seen my DMs? How many DMs of mine have you seen? I've literally shown no DMs that are in any way upsetting. So this is the part where he reveals he's a Redditor, right? Because you know what he's talking about here? He's talking about the Jonas DMs. Those are the only DMs that he could be talking about, right? Unless he's talking about the stuff with Chris. And even that doesn't feel like it, right? It feels like he's talking about, this guy's one of the debunker Redditors, right? He's one of the guys on the AA24 subreddit. This guy might even be Alpha Debacle. Honestly, chat. Remember when I called Alpha Debacle a pussy, guys? That is the thing that would make somebody act like this, right? Yeah, he needs to change his name to Local Clown because he's definitely a clown. But you can tell this guy, this is really personal for this guy, right? Considering I never even knew who the hell he was. So obviously this is some dude who's been stalking us on one of these nutjob Redditors, one of these pretend military guys that pretend on Reddit that they know everything on there, right? Like, oh, yes, I know everything about the military drones and I've been military. This is how these guys work, right? Because they think because they've held a gun and they guard some guy, they think that they know everything about how drones work and all this other crap. Like, this is one of those guys that's lying on Reddit, right? Claiming that he knows how all this stuff works and how it's obviously all fake and he's been deployed and all this bullshit. Almost guaranteed. This is where he revealed it.
In private, and you're a whole different person.
You're a whole different person. Like, what DMs is this guy looking at? We looked through the Grant DMs. See Grant doing a 100% there? What the fuck is Grant talking about? I showed the most passive, calm, respectful DMs ever to Grant. And when I told Grant I didn't want to talk about the case anymore with him, totally lost his mind. Acted like everything was about him. Grant's doing a 100 there as if like I act differently in my DMs. No, what I do is I clap back to any moron who's trying to come at me. Don't come at me with your bullshit, your weird psycho lies that you develop in your head. If you do, I will shatter them because you know what? I tell the truth. That's the easiest thing. So if you're going to come at me, you're going to try to claim I'm a liar or whatever, you're always going to be wrong. And I don't really care. I mean, if you want to keep collecting losses, like I said in this discussion, go for it.
So when you come out...
Well, he is here tonight, though.
He is here tonight,
right? Taking criticism from Lou and Grant.
I'm not saying he's not a man. I'm not saying he's not willing to stand on his 2 feet and own it. But I'm just saying what I see is not...
What I see? Who is this guy, dude?
The best behavior in private DMs.
This guy is guy trying to opine about what appropriate behavior is. Guy that has a literal meltdown on a 45, 50-minute long space. That just the whole behavior and all the weird stuff he's been doing and the pictures that he posted about himself afterwards as well, which we can bring those up. Like, he posted pictures and the replies of himself, right? Like, the same ones that he posted on the stream, right? Like, this is that guy. Like, pretending like he's a badass when he's just a fucking loser. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? You're talking about other people's behaviors, dude? You think that and you even put boxes around yourself? Like, dude, you'd be lucky. Hopefully you don't have a security clearance, man, because I don't know why you're posting all this crap and why you're coming into my space and making a bunch of my fake shit up about me. But, like, this is the kind of stuff that will get your security clearance taken away. Right? So hopefully you don't really have one and you're just making this shit up and you're just LARPing. If you aren't, I suggest you delete your account and go do something else.
And the way you go at people, and I think
the way you go up, I've literally never even heard of this guy, guys. Before yesterday, never even heard of this guy. Never heard of him ever once before. And this guy is opining about my behavior like he's like my dad or my parents or some shit. Like, this is just social media, straight up, perpetually online loser syndrome.
Paranormal Chris, I don't think he was ever disrespectful to you.
Paranormal Chris was ever disrespectful. Well, that's wrong. We might go through those DMs as well, but Paranormal Chris got slapped down because he had multiple meltdowns in the group chat related to Skyfire News. And the huge irony of it is that he kept posting a bunch of fake stuff and fake editorial content and then making like all these posts about how this proves somebody's wrong. And I'd be like, but that's not really fact-based, right? That's just an editorial. And he would have a meltdown and immediately just make it personal, right? And he couldn't take any criticism, right? No criticism whatsoever Paranormal Chris could take. And now this guy is like, white knighting him, claiming that, well, Chris was super respectful. Chris is a bigger loser than this guy is. Chris had a full panic attack like a little girl and ran away from the group chat because he didn't get enough affirmation from everybody. Because when I shot him down and asked him if he had some kind of weird savior complex, the other people didn't come to his rescue, so he left. Just ran away and retreated. Unbelievable.
In a manner that deserved the way you came at him. You said some pretty nasty shit in those DMs. I'm not going to say
I don't care about.
This is him gaslighting some more, right? You said some nasty shit. Well, it's a lot nastier tonight for both of you guys, honestly. Truth hurts a lot. You know the thing about the truth, guys? I wear the truth like an armor, right? If you are just honest all the time, then it doesn't really matter what comes out. Because the reality is people are human. But when you lie and manipulate and build weird narratives like these guys do, your web of lies It gets to a point where it drains on you, right? And it becomes harder and harder and harder to maintain. And that's what happens to these guys is I'm happy to have them go out there and make up all these weird lies, right? And then I just bring the truth down like a hammer on top of these guys. And they're so fragile and they have so much insecurity that it makes it so easy to, right? I mean, I can see through this guy a mile away, right? We can figure out he's a Redditor probably just from his weird parasocial connection to me and how he's completely unhinged. Why he's even in the space to begin with, right? So when you're somebody like this who's living your whole life as a lie, like the last thing you should do is come at other people because it's always every single time going to backfire on you.
But any of you guys in your bullshit anger or whatever,
this
man,
is what you
mean
say.
nothing to me, man.
And then you rage out. This is what you do. You get defensive, and you blow up.
Don't care,
and this is
man.
good for people to see. This is good for people.
This is good for people to see. Like, who does this guy think? Who does he think he is here? Like, this guy talks for like literally half the space. I've never met a bigger loser than this random 556 guy, right? Like, what is wrong with this guy, man?
To see that this is who you actually are. When people criticize you.
This guy interrupted all space long, screamed all space long, gaslit the whole time about somebody he's never met in his whole life, pretending like he's known me for 10 years here. Trying to come down on me and make up a whole bunch of crap out there about me. And then he thinks he has some kind of moral high ground. The amount of projection, dude. You're just living a projector, dude. Living in a whole projector, man. My God.
You can't handle it. You
so
melt.
he's a human.
And then Tupa finally jumps in like, yeah, so he's just a normal guy telling the truth, right? And you're just making a bunch of bullshit. The irony here is that I was being so respectful and so quiet, even while this guy is just coming at me with a bunch of fake crap that he's never met me in his whole life, right? Even Tupa couldn't take it any longer, right? Even Tupa's like, okay, this guy's got serious mental issues. We gotta cut this guy. We gotta stop this guy.
I can list on the people on one hand of people who I know personally who can take criticism well. Nobody I know, like, you know what I mean? It's such a rare quality to do it. And like, local, haven't you been coming at Ashton like hella hard tonight?
And Tupa just straight up calls him out. Like, why is this guy coming at me? Right? You melt. Oh, the part where he was talking about when I melted on the concrete podcast, this guy's off his fucking rocker, man. You can just tell, like, he's not living in the reality we're all living in, right? He's living in some parallel world where he's the main character and everybody else is just there and anything he doesn't say is wrong and that he's a badass because he was in the military. Like, if you think that I melted on the Danny Jones podcast, you need to get your head checked, bro. You either didn't watch it and you have no idea how it went down and you read the headline and you thought that it went like that, or you watched it and, like, you're living out the Ash conformity experiment lie. Like, you're living it out every day. My guess is he never even watched it, and that's the truth. He probably never even watched it. And that he's so full of shit that he was just sitting here making up fake stuff based on literally the name of the podcast because it says exposed on it, as opposed to actually watching it and realize there was no exposing that happened.
To criticize him or to call him out for defending himself and to say, like, look now.
He just admits that he did too. Like, he just admits that he just nut job guy came screaming at me the whole time, right? Just admits it because he thinks he's justified in his own head. He doesn't realize how he seems to normal people.
Now look how you're acting. You're unhinged. I don't know. I think that's a little bit.
He already said I was unhinged.
It's just gaslighting. You're mentally unwell. You need a lot of help, man. Please stop talking for just 1 second. I know you can't, but please just stop. Please just stop talking, man. I'm begging you. Stop talking.
Obviously, like, I literally beg him to stop talking, and he can't. Like, this is what's wrong with this guy, right? Like, they literally cannot stop talking about me, even in the middle of the space. Like, let me get the sad music going again. Like, I don't know what is wrong with these trolls, but I do wonder about it. Here's the thing about it, guys. It's important. You know why this is important? Because the issue that we face is not just one for understanding the science or even proving the videos are real. It's realizing the sociology that's out there. People like this, right? You got to realize that, like, I don't know what percentage, 25 to 40% of the people out there are like local 556 are, right? Where they can't accept anything in their worldview that's not in their tiny, myopic little worldview that they live in, right? And they just can't stop talking, right? They can't stop screaming. The hard thoughts just can't get in there, right? Like, it's, no, I can't listen to that. No, can't let him talk, because if he talks, then he may say the truth and it might tear me down. This guy definitely is a Redditor. I'm actually going to go out and say on a limb right now, 99% sure this guy's a Redditor. 99% sure this guy's one of those psychopaths who's been posting on the debunker subreddit pretending like he's an expert. And that this is why he's so emotionally unhinged in this space, because there's no way anybody else would be this invested otherwise, right? This is supposedly an adult, guys. Somebody who carries a gun around.
It's not me projecting this, you projecting your emotional insecurity on me.
It's him projecting his emotional insecurity. That's what it was. It was pretty heavily on display right there. Not much more to say on it.
Person that came out and said I was unhinged. You were the first person to
yes,
lay that
you
out.
are
People
clearly
can listen
unhinged.
to the spaces. Okay, I'm not.
They're going to, man.
I don't think anything I've said tonight is unhinged.
He doesn't think anything he said tonight is unhinged. This is a guy who's never met me before, who has been railing about me, trying to pretend like he knows me. He doesn't think anything about what he said is unhinged. This is the exact problem, right? When people are crazy, they don't even recognize it in themselves, right? This guy needs to talk to a psychiatrist. I mean that 100%. He needs to go talk to a psychiatrist. He needs to talk about all these weird issues that he's got, why he feels like he has to lash out at everybody. Get to the deep, whatever it is that happened in your childhood, whatever trauma that you dealt with, like your parents didn't love you enough or whatever it is. I honestly don't know. But go figure it out, man, and get some time. Like, delete your internet account, delete your Twitter account. Go do something else with your life for a while. Don't come back to the internet. You know, talk to real people in the real world for a while. Figure your weird shit out and move on with your life. That's what you need, buddy.
I know you don't see it, but everybody else does. So can you just stop talking for a second?
I think what people are...
He still can't stop talking, right? Still can't stop talking. Not even for 1 second. Won't let anybody else get a word in. Completely embarrassing person, Local 556. I really hope that you feel shame. Okay, let's look at Lou, because holy shit, Lou, man.
I don't care, man. I'm not trying to convince you. Like Tupacabra said, you clearly have really serious issues about the idea that this stuff could be real, and you have decided to take it out on me and therefore assume that everything I say must be false. And I'm here to just tell you, I have not lied one single time.
Boom! This was after initial just yelling at me, right? And I just jump in and say, look, I don't care what you think. What I'm saying is true. Go ahead and prove me wrong. If it upsets you that much that you think I'm lying, you know what? Spend every day of your life trying to prove me wrong. Go for it, man. You know why it's going to be so hard? Because I'm not lying. Feels bad. Feels bad.
However you deal with that, however you determine that, I don't care, man.
Listen.
And to be clear, I'm not here to back up Ashton or to, you know, shit on Ashton. I'm here to defend Skyfire News for covering Ashton. You know, there's a lot of...
Okay, so it's going to get good here. Yeah, no, I have a literal army of trolls coming at me. It is wild, man. I was 3-on-1 on this space as well, where these guys are all just airing out all their personal grievances. I've never interacted with, like, any of these people, other than, like, what you saw in the DMs. I've never made a post about any of these people ever before, right? And everybody is just, holy crap. You'd think that they'd be relieved. I'm handing off the MH370 investigation to Grant. Grant is going to take up the MH370 investigation, guys. Obviously, he wanted to. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sending me so much information. I can't wait to see Grant, UFO researcher and filmmaker and student of FOIA. I can't wait to see Grant's work. Oh, man, it's going to be wonderful, guys. I'm absolutely sure Grant's going to get up to, how many followers we have? 79,500 from his 4,300. I'm sure he's going to get up there, chat. I'm sure he'll get there. Handing it all off to him.
A lot of people
so here we go. Lou reviews now, guys.
Over us reporting
super weird
what Ashton is saying, and it makes no fucking sense.
Did I see this coming? No, I came in here and I thought I was going to be here with like average Chris and this Osiris guy, and instead I get these other weirdos who, like, why are they so obsessed with him? Yeah, they're just mad they don't get attention. So that's why we're doing it tonight, chat. We're going to give them the attention that they want, right? We're going to validate them and their, like, fragile egos. Give them the attention that they want. You know, because obviously they need it. Otherwise, I don't know what they were doing in here, right?
We must be all inside working for the government, as he claims.
We must all be inside working for the government, as he claims. Ultimate Gaslight 101. I have literally never accused anybody of working for the government on disinformation. Not anybody. The closest it comes is probably the post that I deleted related to Ross Coulthart and Lou Elizondo and what was the other one? James Fox. I've never accused anybody of working for the government. This guy just keeps gaslighting. Like he's got this whole story in his head about me, right? Like this is definitely a Redditor, 100%. Now I'm going from 99 to 100%. He's a Redditor, right? He built this whole story in the background about me. He's got all this stuff in his head where he thinks I'm lying to people and taking advantage of them, and he thinks he's the hero that's going to come and save us. Like, dude needs to take it easy from the internet for a while, buddy.
Can I comment?
Okay, now we got Lou reviews. Yeah, this is kind of equivalent to Utro's violence, isn't it?
On that.
Is that Lou reviews? Yeah. Yes, please, Lou review. Go ahead.
I think the issue, Keem, is that you guys have these spaces. Sometimes they're super long, and it seems like almost every single one is either co-hosted or you know, kind of like a group session with Ashton Forbes.
So you guys want to know the truth? He says that Skyfire has really long spaces. I think the longest spaces Skyfire had was like 3 hours. There might have been some other spaces, like one space that went long, but I don't even think it was a Skyfire space. All the Skyfire spaces have been really short. I've never co-hosted a single one. I didn't co-host any Skyfire spaces. Now let me make sure that I'm not lying about that. No, I'm like 99% sure I did not co-host a single one. I've literally just been on the panel, and it's never been about MH370. We've literally just talked about random stuff that's out there. Lou Reviews is so jealous that I'm allowed to have an opinion, and he feels like it's almost like I'm not invited. Why was I not on the panel?
And you have two guys on the Skyfire News team that are not journalists and that have been shown a few times.
They're not journalists. Dude, journalist is just a label, man. Like, Lou Reviews thinks that, like, oh, someone's gonna bestow upon you the title of journalist. Like, this is how Lou thinks in his, like, completely, like, tiny universe that he lives in, right? He thinks that there are experts out there that tell you what to think. And it's because he was, like, just a waiter, right? This guy was a waiter. He's a failed actor. You know, and he's a failed podcaster as well, right? So everything that's wrong in his life is somebody else's fault, and the fact that he says that basically, like, you can imagine in his mind, he's got no control, right? All the bad things that happen are out of his control because everything else is run by the elites or whatever else that decide what's true and what's not, right?
That they have a heavy, heavy, heavy bias towards believing. And when you guys have Ashton as part of your panel for every...
We're Rona, what's that? Lou Reviews got burnt by LE, is that Lou Elizondo? Had a meltdown and had to bail out of the UFO YouTube community. Ooh, wow. Yikes, Lou Reviews. That's some dirty laundry. Is that true? Did Lou Reviews really get burnt by Lou Elizondo? Have a meltdown? And then have to bail out of the community? No wonder he's so jealous and bitter. Holy crap. If that's true, wow, that explains a lot. We're Rona.
Single thing. You're platforming him.
You're platforming him. What? This is like, he shouldn't be allowed to have a voice. Like, what do you mean, dude? It's a speaker panel on Skyfire News where I'm literally endorsing them. And I'm on the panel. How is that? You're allowing a guy... Well, I've got 79,000 followers. Of course I'm on the speaker panel, Lou Reviews. How many followers do you have, bud? 6,000. Yeah. Of course, they're going to put somebody who's going to get a lot of people in there on the panel, right? Just makes common marketing sense.
And the issue is that people are trying to get some honest answers out of this, and he's claiming that he's found the solution for anti-gravity technology.
So obviously, like, none of this has anything to do with one another, right? Like, you can find out right now that this is some weird, bitter, personal vendetta against me, right? He doesn't want me on the speaker panel. Says people are trying to get to the truth. I don't know what that even means. Like, it's like one of these weird gatekeeper things, right? Where like only whatever Lou says can be true. Ashton says he's found anti-gravity. Well, we found several theories of it, absolutely, and like 4 theories of unification as well. That's a fact. Whether or not you believe those are up to you. I don't care what people believe. And now he's so offended by the idea that somebody else figured something out and he wasn't told by the authority or the TV that it could be real. It wasn't on the news. That obviously Ashton, he shouldn't be allowed to be able to speak.
That's his claim.
That's his claim. He's claiming things. Guys, he's having opinions. Can you believe this, guys? Someone is having opinions that I don't agree with. I'm Lou Reviews. I do a failed podcast that nobody watches. Even though I've been doing this for like, how many years has this guy been doing this? Forever. Imagine crying like a little bitch like this. Jesus.
Why are we even...
I feel like this guy's gonna have a heart attack, man. Like, don't work yourself up this much, Lou Reviews. Like, you're gonna literally, like, I worry about your blood pressure, my dude.
The videos that he's basing...
The videos he's basing, like, what? Can you imagine having this much hate in your heart? I cannot imagine being this hateful.
All of this information off of comes from an Anon account.
Somebody posted a video anonymously. This is unacceptable. It didn't come from Jeremy Corbell or Lou Elizondo or James Fox. How can I believe this?
With fake fucking videos on it of
fake fucking videos on the YouTube account. So obviously this can't be real. That's my logic.
UFOs.
That's what they teach you when you're a failed actor and a waiter, everybody.
So why should we take anything past that fact?
Why should we take anything past that fact? Jesus, man. My God. Guys, there's more. I got more Lou Reviews stuff. Lou is on. He was cooking everybody.
It's a waste of fucking time.
Everything I don't believe in is a waste of time. I'm Lou Reviews. Everything else is a waste of fucking time. He found a video that was on a YouTube account that had fake videos on it. This is all a waste of time. I wasn't told this is true.
And it's frustrating.
Okay. Of course, it's very frustrating because people believe things that you don't believe. It's very frustrating. You could just, I don't know, let me think. Live your life and go do something else? No, I can't do that. I can't live that way.
It's frustrating when you guys have him on here just spouting all of this pseudoscience and bullshit. The reason he might have gotten an invite from Joe Rogan. Okay, great.
Oh, he might have gotten an invite from Joe Rogan. It might have happened now. He was the first one lying about it, saying there was no chance it happened. You know, and now, did they ever admit that they're wrong, chat? They never admit that they're wrong, right? It's just they move on to the next weird fake narrative that they're building about me, right? It's like, and this is why I give them rope. They wonder why I don't show the DMs or all this other shit, because I'm happy to let them hang themselves, dude. Just go lie as much as you want, right? And then I'm gonna bring the hammer down on you and make you look like the jackass that you are, right? So it's just wild, dude.
Hey, but Joe Rogan decided not to have him on because it's a bullshit fucking theory, and he said that himself.
And you're right to have that opinion. But when you describe,
how is he so mad, dude? Like, there's no way Lou Reviews, I don't know if Lou Reviews realizes this, but Lou Reviews is actually anti-disclosure entirely, right? Like, it's not even a matter of sides, but like, Lou Reviews is actually working against his own best interest, right? You know, like, it's just wild. Like, he wants to be asleep, right? He's like the NPC in the Matrix that wants to go back to sleep. Like, he can't deal with the reality that the Matrix is real, right? Like, he needs to be asleep. He needs the agents to protect him, right? Like, to like totally, like, yeah, fascism. He loves it.
You're right to have that opinion, Lou. But when you describe when you describe our spaces as, you know, Tuba, Red, two believers, and Ashton, who, you know, obviously everyone knows Ashton's position. That would be fine if that was our stage, but that's not our stage.
I love how through this whole thing too, Keemstar is just, I know he's probably laughing when he's muted or whatever, but like he keeps it 100% calm, right? Why do people wonder why I don't like, why I like Keemstar? Keemstar even says here he thinks the videos are probably fake, right? And why, I'm not going to attack him because I don't care, right? He just says it in a calm way. Who cares, right? He's not sitting there trying to prove that I'm a liar or yelling about how I shouldn't be allowed to be on the speaker panel because he doesn't believe it. Like he wants people to be able to talk, right? Lou Reviews, on their hand, is like straight up complete fascist. Like anybody I don't believe shouldn't be allowed to talk. Total nonsense.
We always have like the #1 debunker in the space, average crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna move on.
You guys are calling yourself news. That would be like,
Here it is.
You know,
you're calling yourself news.
Actually,
Dude, it's a Twitter account.
You know,
relax.
Fucking who's in the news? Like P. Diddy fucking co-hosting a show on CNN or Fox News, you know, just to take away the attention of his lawsuit. Like it's just,
the shit would be fire though.
It's a little, there's never any pushback from a news so-called
Tupacabra. I love Tupacabra. How can anyone not like Tupacabra, guys? How can you not like Tupacabra? Just perfect comment right there. Yeah, the amount of entitlement from all these people tonight, guys, through the freaking roof. I've never seen this much entitlement in a space before. I was actually done doing troll hunts, and holy crap today. Was I just getting it from all sides. And how much they project their insecurities is just incredible. I mean, you could do psychology, what do you call it? Case studies on this stuff all day long, for a whole semester.
News network, and I think that's what
you can't call yourself a news network. Like, does Lou Reviews think he's like the arbiter of what's a news organization and what a journalist is and how everybody needs to conduct themselves? Like, maybe if he's acting, man, that would be good. Imagine if he was actually acting here and not being honest, but he's being honest with his emotions. But if he was actually acting here, I'd say, holy shit, maybe this guy could get a role as an actor. But no, it's failure at that too.
Where the frustration is, it's like I have an appreciation for what you guys are doing. I say it almost every time I do a live show. So it's not like this is coming from a hater perspective. It's
definitely coming from a hater perspective, 100%. It's coming from a hater perspective. We just listened to you ranting for like 3 minutes about how I shouldn't be platformed and you don't like me and other stuff I'm saying is obviously fake and, you know, that it shouldn't be allowed. Like, that's just straight up fascist bullshit. It's censorship of people and ideas that you don't like. It really doesn't have any place in America whatsoever. It's one of the most unpatriotic, un-American things I've ever heard anybody say. Lou Reviews, I really hope you're ashamed. I really hope you're ashamed, man. If you take anything out of this, me railing on you guys tonight, I hope that you guys feel some sense of shame. Because I'm going to be honest, here's my best advice for you guys. The best advice for you to come out tomorrow and apologize for your abhorrent behavior in this space and your crazy psychotic messages that you've been making about a bunch of bullshit lies that you've been making up about me because you guys invent these silly narratives in your head. Best thing you could do would be come out tomorrow, admit you were wrong, say you're sorry, say that you didn't mean any harm for me, and that you're never going to talk about me again. If you did that, people would actually respect you a little bit. People would actually respect you a tiny bit. If you do anything other than that, you're doomed to the annals of being just the butt crack losers of society, right? That's the truth of it, right? Whether or not you take that advice or not, I guess you're going to probably double down. If I had to guess, I'd say you're probably going to double down. But, you know, that's the true advice. The people that don't take my advice usually end up regretting it, and they end up taking the advice at some point, so...
The information is so frustrating and it's so difficult to combat because...
The information is so frustrating and difficult to combat. Like, what, dude? Yeah, because it's just factual information that we've been digging up. It's not something that we're building some weird fake narrative. We're literally looking up the evidence. We are using the scientific method, which is using a hypothesis, matching it to the evidence, and then coming to a logical conclusion. as opposed to going, which expert told me that? Like idiot-ass Lou Reviews does. He has no idea what science even means.
Because it's 6 hours of verbal diarrhea that is pseudoscience. And it's frustrating as shit.
And as if Lou Reviews is the arbiter of what's pseudoscience or not, right? Lou Reviews probably doesn't even know a first thing about any science whatsoever, right? When you're trying to be an actor, the last thing I think you really are educated on is when it comes to science. I mean, if I had asked Lou Reviews what science meant, he wouldn't even be able to answer the question. He'd be like, science is what CNN tells me or what NASA tells me in their announcements, as opposed to realizing that science actually stands for the scientific method.
Lou, Skyfire's never hosted a 6-hour-long space. I don't think.
I can assure you, without doubt, that we're never going to be part of the
There's
Lou
a lot of
crew
memes about
or the Believers, or saying, all this is bullshit and Ashton Forbes needs to be deleted from the internet.
He literally was saying that, right, chat? He was literally saying that everything that Ashton says is bullshit, and Ashton has to not be allowed on the speaker panel. No one should be listening to Ashton. Like, just straight up whack job stuff, man. Imagine saying that about somebody else and thinking that you are in any high road position. The best thing that anybody could do out there is unsubscribe from Lou Reviews' YouTube channel. Unfollow him, right? He's just a baiter, like, react, wannabe, like, going nowhere kind of YouTuber, right? This is probably his job, his real job too. So the sad part is he probably depends on that to get by, which is, I hope that's not the case. I mean, he needs to go get a real job, do something else other than this, rehabilitate his image, whatever he's got to do. But rants like this are just no place whatsoever, anywhere. Like, nobody's going to want to ever hire you if you're coming out with rants and attacking people like this, because they think that you're going to come into their workplace, right? And that you're going to just start making enemies out of everybody, right? For no reason whatsoever, because you start to build these weird narratives in your head about Jenny stole my sandwich from the refrigerator yesterday. And Jenny's like, dude, I don't even know who you are. I don't even eat sandwiches. I'm a vegetarian.
And he's got a platform to say it. Lou,
I never said he should be deleted from the internet, bro. You can't put words in my mouth like that.
My bad. You know what I mean.
Okay, so where is the next Lou Reviews? Oh, so Lou Reviews gets on in again here.
Feels personal for a lot of you guys, and I think that's part of the problem, right? Is that you've decided that you think that the videos that I've been promoting and the stories that I've been promoting are fake, and therefore everything I say must be wrong. And you're so desperate and adamant to prove it to yourselves and everyone else. And the reality is,
and now they always interrupt me, right? Like, I literally can't say anything at these guys, right? It's personal to them, right? They've decided that whatever I'm promoting can't be real because it breaks their fragile perspective of reality. And that's what this all comes down to, right, chat? That's what this all comes down to. 0 days UFO sober. I mean, the dude needs to definitely take a break from UFOlogy for sure.
Actually, I've said many times.
Relax. Hey, Lou, just chill out, man. Let me speak.
They don't even, like, literally wouldn't even let me speak, right? They have the three people going on me at once. I can't even speak for 15 seconds without them cutting me off. And it's just like, this is what trying to deal with these, like, whack jobs in the UFO community is all about, right? This is why I'm stepping away. There's definitely a huge element of jealousy here. There's an element of their worldviews are being threatened. There's an element of, we don't know this guy or like this guy. He can't know anything. And the official experts that I know, don't tell me this is true. So therefore, it can't be, like, all kinds of just super weird shit. No class. Just bad people, just bad people, man.
Address that. I want to address that. I've said many times on my show that your research, who knows, could...
Lou Reviews is, like, basically reamed us on every single show that he's been able to ream us on. Nonstop. Right? He's never given this case any chance whatsoever. He's never honestly or unbiasedly look at the evidence, right? He is a typical Redditor brain, right, who his opinion is based on whatever his peers tell him to think. He's never had an original thought in his whole life, as far as I can tell, right? That's what kind of people, honestly, a lot of these people, but definitely Lou Reviews is right,
could lead to where maybe that plane is. And if that's the case, awesome. Fucking fantastic.
He literally just went on a whole rant talking about how I shouldn't even be allowed to be on the panels and everything I say is a lie. And now he's trying to claim that the investigation should be able to show or could show where the plane is at. Yeah, okay, that's kind of a weird shift.
Fantastic, okay? But it's everything else that comes along with that. So it's not personal. It's not that I fucking hate
personal,
you.
100%.
You know, like you're a gamer, you're a nerd. Like I think there's a
personal.
lot of things that a lot of people in here can relate to you on. But it's just like the frustration.
His compliments are that I'm a gamer and I'm a nerd. That's the compliments that he's giving me. Really good compliments there, Lou. I've basically played no video games in the last 6 months, but sure, nerd, I guess I'll take.
Of like, you just completely ignore facts. And that
I ignore facts, chat. I'm pretty sure Lou doesn't know what the definition of a fact is, because for Lou, a fact is whatever everybody else thinks is true, right? That's the difference, right? That's the problem with a lot of Redditor brain people, is that for them, what a fact is what everybody, how people make them feel, right? And how many people they agree.
But I'm not. That's
right.
The thing, man. The science is real. The people have debunked it didn't use any science whatsoever. I've actually gone out of my way. Let me speak, Lou.
He like literally won't even let me say like one word. You know, like the guy goes on for like a minute and a half. Won't let me even get a word in.
I literally am learning electrical engineering myself in order to prove it to be real. I'm literally talking with actual Navy, DOD engineers and scientists who are saying it's real. Who's on your side that's saying it's not from a scientific perspective? Nobody, man.
Oh, that was even funnier when you listen to yourself do it. It's like, this guy, why is he thinking that he has science on his side? What does he think science even is? Which scientist does he think is on his side? And why is he so adamant that there's no possible way that you can move fast as the speed of light? Why is he so adamant about that? Does he know anything about physics at all? What does he think? What does he think about like Einstein's equations? You know, I'm pretty sure the dude's never taken a science class in his whole life, right? Let alone even thought about what's possible.
I don't get, Lou, let me just say one last thing. Yes, I can, Lou. Yes, I can. Yes, I can say it. I'm allowed to say whatever I want, Lou. And I can say...
I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I'm allowed to have my own opinions. And even if it's not really true, I'm allowed to say it as long as I believe it. That's what free speech is. Now, in this case, it's also true. But you don't have to agree, right? But the idea that I shouldn't be allowed to talk because Lou is somehow the arbiter of what's real and what's not, or that Grant is, or this local 556, or any of these morons out there like Average Chris, or this Jeremy McGowan guy, or even John Greenewald, whose whole job is selling dildos and doing FOIA requests. None of these people know what's true. None of them have ever done any science in their whole lives. None of them are arbiters of the truth to anybody. The best advice I would give all of them is never say my name again. Go do something else for the rest of your life, anything else. And when you find out that it's true, I'm not even going to demand that you apologize for all the bullshit you said here. I'm certainly not going to accept your apology if you do offer it. Because if you act like this to me, or like what John Greenewald did today, and then the science ends up being true, and you come back and go, oh, well, CNN told me it's true now, Ashton, so sorry about being a dickhead to you. No, fuck off, dude. You're a piece of shit. You should have learned your lesson before CNN told you, right? Don't be an asshole to people. It's pretty simple. Otherwise, you get troll hunts like this.
Okay, I got an idea.
Yes, you're right. They can't be.
I got an idea.
Okay,
let me just say, no.
We talk about
what's having to have
one
absolute
and for and get the back.
So what's the last review?
Get McWest in here.
Can I just say?
Oh, this is the best part, though.
I gotta go. I just got done cooking dinner for my girlfriend. We're gonna go eat Valentine's Day dinner. If the science is so great, write a paper that gets peer reviewed and put on a scientific murder board by your peers.
And Grant again upvoted. These guys are just full CNN brain, right? Write a paper. I'm literally posting the papers on my Twitter account. Literally posting them. I posted a COP greater than 1 paper. Bob Greenier is actually an author on that paper. It came out like a month ago, right? All we do is look at papers. Here's another one. Talking about the potential for, I believe this one is some type of gravitational waves being able. Oh, this is Eric W. Davis, right? Higher orthodoxy of physics, 6-layer model for anomalous phenomenon. I've got papers all over right now, chat. I've got more as well where that comes from. So this idea that I need to write a paper, I don't even know where this guy's even coming from with this nonsense. Is this not the right one? Let's see, where's the other one? I got too many windows open, chat. This isn't the one either. Oh, Grant Levox's YouTube stream. Oh, there it is. Sorry, chat. Here we go.
If it's so great, you're not going to figure it out in a space. That's just entertainment. That's not science. Write a paper, man. Write a paper. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first guy in line to apologize to you.
Lou reviews, this is the part too, where like they want to treat other people like crap. They want to pretend like they're superior and they're smarter. They want to defame me and say all this crap about me and, whatever. And then they just want to have it both ways too, where like, oh, if it turns out you're right, well then I'll say sorry. You didn't say sorry when you were wrong about Joe Rogan. And also, I don't want to hear your apology. I just want you to stop attacking me. If you don't believe in it, fine. Move on. Do something else with your life. Is it clear yet? I've had to say it like 4 times. Move on. Do something else with your life. Anything else doesn't involve me, doesn't involve MH370, whatever the hell you want to do, dude. Do it. Okay? It's really that simple.
But I don't
The papers are already out there, man. No one is trying to prove anything to you. No one cares. That's the point. You're too egotistical. You're too up in your own head about thinking that everyone has to prove to you the reality. They don't.
Boom. Honestly, that's really the hammer, right? These people like Lou Reviews are so up in their own head, making up fake stories about how everything works and what have you, that when something comes in that breaks that story, this is how they lash out, right? This is their reaction. They think that the other person must be lying because the story they built in their head must be the truth. You know, the woman in the replies really nailed it. I'm trying to remember which reply. Let's find it real quick, chat. I think it was this one. Yep, it was this one. Where is she? Here it is. By the way, this is what it's like just being a woman in public. I thought about that, and I think, wow, that's true, guys. Like, these are the kinds of sociopaths that are, like, building stories in their head about, like, women that they're going past, thinking that they're being slighted by them or their girlfriends, and are making these imaginary stories up in their head, right? And I said, I bet it's scary how these man children invent weird stories in their heads and then act out on them. When I listened to that nut job scream at me for 30 minutes straight, I realized how disturbed some of these people are, right? Like, this has actually broken some of these guys' brains. And like, I don't know why this guy has such a weird personal connection to me that I'd never even heard of before last night, right? And he's just, again, saying like we are like, he thinks that I've like kicked his dog or that I cheated on his girlfriend or something with it, or cheated with his girlfriend. Like, this is not normal behavior for people to be acting. And then the girl comes back and says, the scary part is how these people have to create an imaginary relationship with you in order to be comfortable being that abusive. Imagine talking like that to a guy just sitting at a desk in the library face to face, right? Like, none of these people, at least I hope to God that none of these people talk to other humans in the real world like this, right? I hope to God that they don't. Because if they do, man, they are going to get arrested at some point. Like, this is psychotic, abusive, emotionally abusive, verbally abusive behavior. It's unhealthy. Like, I can't imagine thinking about someone all the time like these people are doing. And building these weird, bizarre stories, fake stories about people. Like, these are the kinds of people that, like, I'm not going to say any more mean stuff about them, but you guys can imagine that they probably don't have very healthy relationships. And it's just a situation where you, like, the best advice is they just need to go away and do something else. Go outside, get off the internet for like a while, take a break, you know? Don't obsess about what other people are doing in your life. Do something else. Yeah, I think it's just they have issues, right? And then I'm just the target for it, right? And then I say, well, you know, that's a great point. You know, what they've done is they created this imaginary relationship with me. I don't have any relationship to Lou Reviews. I have no relationship to Grant other than like 10 DMs that we read out earlier. I have no relationship with this. I didn't even know who the hell this local 556 guy even was. Never even heard of him, right? No relationship whatsoever. And yet they're acting like I owe them to act a certain way, to respect their criticisms, and they're opining about the way that I act and stuff. Like, holy shit. And then they're the ones who are trying to say that I'm narcissistic or egotistical. Wow, buddy. Wow. Like, wow, man, you need to stay away from weapons. You need to stay away from other humans. You need to go talk to a psychiatrist. You need to work out all these issues you've got. And I think we've run through them, right? You've got Chris, who's got the savior complex. You've got Lou Reviews, who's like clearly been like slighted or whatever by Lou Elizondo, and it's just broken him and broken him as a person. He's a broken man. You've got this local 556 total psychopath who has no reason to even be connecting me whatsoever, who's got probably a mixture of a savior complex as well as like this idea that everything he knows is right and he's trying to, and nobody else can know anything that's true, and that he's got to save everyone from the angry people who are lying to people. And then you got Grant, who's obviously just jealous and for some reason feels like the world, like he's the arbiter of what's true or what's not in the UFO community, and that he's going to be the one to peer review somebody's conspiracy or whatever weird shit he was thinking. Like, he didn't even come at it from an honest place, and I knew in the chats right away that he wasn't, right? Because that's not how people do it. They don't come to your DMs trying to argue with you about little elements. So, like, these guys all have issues they got to work out, and the best thing they could do is not interact with me anymore. Like, if I knew they were, like, in my area or around me, I would get restraining orders against every single one of them. And I would just literally play that recording, and I would just get a restraining order against them. Because it's weird parasocial shit like this is what turns me off from the UFO community in general. And these are, if you want to take credit, these are the reasons why I'm stepping away from MH370 in general. Because it's psycho shit like this that I don't want to be dealing with in my life. And I think these people just need to cool off, right? So the idea here is that I step away from the case for a while. Let me flip this over. I step away from the case for a while. I don't know how long, months, years, not really sure. Till something else pops up or whatever, right? Till I feel like people have chilled out. Let these people chill out. Let these people realize what kind of nasty, weird psychopaths they've been. Maybe they'll come to terms and realize that I'm a real person and not some whatever weird thing they've built up in their heads about me. I'm not sure if they will, but I hope that they do. I hope that they, find Jesus or whatever they need in order to relax. I hope Lou Reviews goes on a diet maybe, because like, honestly, some of the way he's breathing during some of this as well, like, I really get worried he's going to have a heart attack in the middle of one of these spaces, especially the way he works himself up. Like, I want him to live for a long time. So, but that's the reason. So, I mean, if you guys want to take credit, it's psycho stuff like this that I just don't need it in my life, I've got other stuff going on, and I'm happy for all the people that I've made and related to the case. We've done almost all the evidence. We do have a few more things that are coming up, guys. So we have a few posts that I'm working on actually right now. And after the stream tonight, I'm going to work on a little bit more. Let me find them. Okay, so we've got, should I show it? Yeah, okay. Okay, so we've got the Immersat post, which is a lot of juicy stuff about Immersat here. Related to Immersat, they had airplane in the sky while it was still on the ground. They also had a situation where the terminals were ripe for malware exploitation, and the person that even posted about it was actually Victor Ilanello. And not only that, but there's also a weird angle where the plane might not have actually been the MRO model. It might have been the other model, because MH370 was actually seen flying on flight radar for like 15 minutes. Like, I think it was in December of later that year. So there's a lot of weird stuff that kind of aligns to this idea that the satellite tracking might not have made sense, because if you could hack the satellite, all you have to do is change like one number, and then all the analysis would have the plane going somewhere else. And the general way they're talking about this is they're saying, well, this means that the plane would have gone north instead of going south, but I'm guessing that this could be, the way this is manipulated, it can probably be anything, right? The plane could have gone anywhere, even Diego Garcia. Debris. So with the debris here, Jeff Wise, I'll have to dig around for it probably, but he made the post about the debris, and this account here dug into it and found out, man, Lulu, you're drinking that water hard. They found out that the debris would have had to drift 3,000 nautical miles. 3,000. I think the idea that the debris drifted 3,000 miles is pretty insane. There's almost no way, right? And this is the whole thing of why they had to falsify these debris tests that they did. One of these posts right here in these links actually talks about that the debris couldn't have drifted that far, and that they actually failed the first debris test. The first debris test that they did had no chance the debris would have made it 3,000 miles. And then they did another one, right? Because they have to falsify a different one. And then they quickly say, oh, yeah, well, we looked at it, and yeah, now we're convinced that the debris would have made it there. It's not exactly scientific, right? So it seems like the debris situation, and that's corroborated by the lepus, the little things that grow on the debris itself, were apparently not consistent with the angle or the wind or any of that stuff related to how the debris would have floated there. So it's actually, in my opinion, going to be a really strong argument that the debris would have come from Diego Garcia instead of coming from the South Indian Ocean. Because you think about it, too, in terms of, even if you modeled the debris, like the water patterns, it's going to be hard to put the debris into the location in the ocean where you think they're going to search for it, right? And we would have found it, too. So, yeah, I'm going to write that down. Here's the thing. If the debris was deposited in the South Indian Ocean, we would have seen it, right? So it probably didn't originate from the South Indian Ocean, and most likely they falsified the debris drift pattern analysis in order to falsely justify that it somehow could have traveled 3,000 miles just drifting in the ocean. That's a long way for some debris to shift and to drift. Then there's another one for espionage. Again, the same idea that they switched out the planes. This is basically going to be a review of the letter to me, but there's a few other things I found out. So they could have switched the planes, and they could have then hacked the SATCOM ahead of time to manipulate the routing. This would actually also be supported by the IOR, the fact that it never switched over to POR. There's a huge mountain range as well. That goes up to about 7,000 feet. And this would actually explain why they flew to Penang instead of going back to Kuala Lumpur, because it would have been nighttime. And if it's at nighttime, you're afraid that you're going to crash into the mountains if you're flying too low. Really dangerous because you can't see anything. It's not like there's lights on the top of the mountains, right? So this is why they went to Penang. It also zigzagged before the plane went dark, probably due to the explosion of the fire alarms going off. And then the pilot is taking manual control of the plane, and the plane's on fire, and they're trying to figure out what they should do, right? This, I think, is why they zigzagged. And then, of course, the Freescalers sitting next to each other. Pretty bizarre stuff. Then there's two more. My Hero. I'm going to write another one about Edward C. Lin. I'm probably going to call this one... I might change the name. I don't know. I might call it the PSYOP, because the reality is I think they PSYOP the world into thinking that this guy was going for, you know, that he was a traitor, that he, like, why would you have this prostitution charge? Like, that's super weird. We're charging you with espionage for life, but we're also going to put a prostitution charge on there? Like, that was definitely used to manipulate the media into thinking he was a bad guy, because he wasn't a bad guy, right? And they knew he wasn't. That was the problem. Like, he was a through and through patriot. And the nice thing about this piece is that no matter what, even if somehow he wasn't the guy that leaked the videos, this guy's still a good guy. Edward C. Lin's still a good guy. Like, I'm 100% sure. He didn't do anything. He did not. They admitted that he didn't do anything that was considered espionage. He exchanged nothing with anyone from China. So no matter what, this guy's not a bad guy. I'm sure of it. And then Awakening, I haven't started this at all either. But Awakening will potentially be a piece where I talk about my own personal awakening in terms of believing whether or not stuff's real or not. I mean, you know what I wonder a lot, chat, is that would I have been Lou Elizondo or Local 556 or even Grant if I hadn't seen these videos, if I hadn't done this investigation? I sure as hell hope not. I like to think that I would not have been somebody who's as unhinged and rude as those guys are. But maybe, man. I don't know where the line is between when you're somebody who's awake or when you're somebody who's a CNN brain and you're asleep, right? Not really sure where the line is on that. So that's what I want this piece to be about, is about my own awakening in terms of what matters, the nature of the UFO disclosure in general, advanced science that's being kept hidden from us, and then how we get the information out there, right? Of course, this stuff sounds really crazy, right? Like, when you're talking about a plane being teleported, that's so far out there from the scientific perspective that it does seem impossible to believe. But we're looking at it in 2 videos, so you can't just ignore it. That's the thing, right? You can't just ignore it. So when you look at 2 videos like this, and you've got a thermal video like this that shows the drone, that shows the plane. The plane's in exact coordination with the second video, which indicates that you need to have a 3D rendered environment. Like, you've already got too much evidence that you can't ignore this, right? You can't just say, well, it doesn't look right to me, right? Like, this is already way too much evidence. Just the fact that the dates coincide when the plane really went missing for a fake video like this, that alone should be enough to prove the videos are real without anything else, right? The only thing holding people back, and you hear it in their anger and their voices. He's talking about aliens teleporting a plane to the other dimension, right? Like, you can tell that that's what the hang-up is in people's minds. If there were no orbs and we were just looking at a plane here, nobody would be trying to debunk this video. If we were just looking at a plane flying around, everyone would go, yep, this is the United States government tracking MH370. No question. Everyone would be on board with it. Because you see these orbs, this is what makes everybody immediately think it can't be real, because it breaks every aspect of what their belief system is, every aspect of it. It means every single authority has been lying to them. It means that we've had technology that would change the world, and we've been living like idiots this whole time. So, yeah, you just can't ignore it, right? Even this video, which is even harder, this video is even harder to believe because we have no frame of reference for it. The other one's clearly a drone video from an MQ-1C Gray Eagle or an MQ-9, right? This one, it's like we actually had to figure it out. And it wasn't that easy to figure out. And you can see all kinds of stuff moving in the background, and either waves disappearing or clouds moving, even though it's only a few seconds long, right? But even in this video, just the fact there's a Citrix session and this weird movement of the camera, nobody ever sees that in any kind of fake video. Basically everything you see in these videos is completely unprecedented, including these coordinates you see in the bottom left. Like, this is either some super elaborate hoax, right? Or this is just real, right? And the hoax makes no sense. The raw data on this the raw data on the telemetry wasn't even available until a week afterwards. So they were either some kind of super stalker of the original case that came up with these fake videos because they were like, I don't know, paying attention to like the cruiser forums and Catherine T, and they believed that Catherine T was telling the truth even when everybody else said that she wasn't. And they made a whole fake video around Catherine T's sighting. Or these videos are just real because the raw data wasn't even available. But when these videos came out, and we have literal telemetry data with 6 coordinates, 6 decimal places in the coordinates, indicating the real location of the plane that was only known after the raw data was available. Everything before that was highly speculative. Everybody's arguing about where it went and where it could have gone, right? So that's why we can't ignore it, guys. So what's coming next? Oh, I was not showing the videos that whole time, guys. Jesus, guys. Okay, so we've got the video. This was the drone one. I should have showed it again. I was sitting there talking to the chat while I'm staring at it. Okay, so we've got one drone video, and then we've got our satellite video, right? We've got our coordinates that weren't known. We've got our perspective changes. We have our citrix session, right? We've got perfect engineering, 120 degrees, 0 point, sinusoidal pattern going on here. Nobody's going to be able to come close to recreate anything that we see here. Even the one guy, Tony Adams or whatever his name is, that made like probably the closest recreation, just cheated on all of it, except for the parts that are original, including the plane, the orbs, and the zap, and he got all of them horribly, horribly wrong. Like, not even close. Those are the only 3 original parts, and he spent days on it. He spent days on it. And he claimed a while back that he was going to try to recreate the other one, which obviously failed, right? And the reason why they don't stream it is because, A, they know it's taking way longer than they're claiming. And then B, they don't stream it because when they fail, they don't want anybody to see the failures. Because if they see how hard it was to actually recreate it and how these people have failed at it, like people did early on in the investigation, some VFX experts tried to recreate them and all gave up, saying it would be too hard. If they did that, then it would, hurt their side. And sadly, this is the craziest part. Like, these people might not even be getting paid by the government to cover this stuff up. They might just be literally doing it because they're like literal NPCs that want to go back to sleep in the Matrix. And if the stuff's real, then they get woken up. That's the crazy part. This is the part where like that local 556 is saying everyone's an agent. And I'm actually saying the opposite. One of the things that I've learned as an awakening is that it's not a bunch of agents hiding this information. It's just normal idiots that are fighting against the reality of this stuff being real. And that's what makes it so easy to hide. They don't even need agents to do it. And it might be a situation where it's self-fulfilling at this point, where the people just do it because of like weird savior complexes and being like so personally threatened by the idea that somebody knows more than they know and that they might be in the dark. It's like it's a matter of like some primal fear. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to only address this one last time, one more debunk. I've addressed this debunk several times. There are no debunks out there that have not been refuted. Every single one has been refuted. There's somebody named Estimate of the Situation that he's also off his rocker like the rest of these guys. He's a grifter that sells comic books at some of these UFO conventions. His whole livelihood is threatened by the idea of disclosure actually happening, right? A lot of these guys, the whole game is that the UFO community and disclosure is a process that will never happen, right? For a lot of these guys. And this Estimate of the Situation guy is one of them as well. And that's why he's a debunker, but he's also somebody selling comic books about the whole disclosure process, right? Because it's just a big industry to him. He came up with this debunk that's been refuted and conclusively refuted by a bunch of people, and he refused to accept it, right? And he claimed that there was 2 frames that were a match. He's wrong. There are no frames that are a match. It's already been addressed. People tried to point this out to him, that the frames don't match. They even falsely, like all the debunkers falsify their evidence too. Like they modify stuff and then claim weird things like the jittery thing. They claim stabilization, but they don't address the fact that the stabilization actually modifies the video. Same thing with this as well. As you can actually see where they use like editing software to soften out the background so that they could get it to try to match better. And that's why you see this somewhat white part here, but it's not totally white, because if this is an overlay of, what is it called? Like a reverse overlay of the 2 images of the 2 frames. So if those 2 frames were the same, then this would be a fully white image and you wouldn't see anything else. What you're seeing here is the difference between the 2 images. And you can see very, very clearly that they're not the same. This would be a white image otherwise. This is a overlay of both of those frames over top of each other, the ones that they've already edited, by the way. So this is after they've edited them to try to get them to match as best as possible, including removing as much of the noise back here around the plane that they could, right? And so you can see that the noise pattern is completely different. The outline of the plane is completely different. And so this is the part 2 where I even showed this to the Estimate guy. I told him in a space about it. And this is the problem with the debunkers, is they can never admit when they're wrong. And like it's like we're just looking at it. And am I not showing it? Okay, here it is. Sorry. Here it is, guys. God, I wasn't showing you. Okay, I have to do it again real quick. So this is the one that would be the white frame, right? If this was a perfect match. But you can see that all the stuff here, it's not a perfect match. So this area around the plane is the part where they've used the editing software to try to get the two frames to match better so that they could lie to people, which is what the debunkers do, is that they present false debunks just like they did with the Pyromania one. They edit it, they don't show or tell people that they edited it and then say, oh, it's a perfect match. And then you go, wait, but you edited it. And they go, well, of course I edited it. You're like, well, that's not how it works though, right? Like you said, it's a perfect match. And they don't show you this, right? Because even if they show you this, you'd see it's not a perfect match. So they edit it, and then they only show you what they edited it, and then they claim that they're a perfect match, which is deceptive, and it's called lying. And then they don't show you all the other frames that aren't even remotely close. They don't even address that, right? That's not relevant for them. And some of them even lie and say the other frames are a match, which is really bizarre. How could you claim there's more? Even one frame's not a match. There's no matching frames. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. And like, this is why we booted somebody from our Discord earlier today, because if you can't be honest as a debunker that it's not a match, and and people go, well, some of them will even go, nobody's claiming it's a match. I get people all the time claiming it's a perfect match. Literally, I had another guy today that I blocked that screamed in all caps it's a perfect match, even after I showed him this literal video. Showed him the video. It's just, if you can't be honest enough to admit when you're wrong, I'm not going to take anything you say seriously, no matter what at all. And this is why I told the debunkers way back when, they don't have any credibility. No debunks that show up on Reddit have any credibility. You know, all you're doing is you're damaging the situation where I could help get disclosure out quicker by going on Joe Rogan, right? And if you're so convinced that there's nothing here, you should want me to go on Joe Rogan, right? Because you think I would make a fool of myself, right? If you're so confident in your debunks, then you have no reason to stop me, right? So why are all these people calling podcasters up, telling them not to talk to me, making defamatory stuff about me, having completely unhinged nut job spaces where they act super parasocial as if they know me? It's not healthy, and it's very dishonest, right? And this is part of the reason how you can tell there's something to these videos. This has never happened anywhere ever in ufology. No videos have ever had people completely become so just lie to themselves, right? Like people do about this debunk. Same thing with this debunk. Like, we can just see it's not a white image. This is just an overlay of the two images and where the differences are. We can see that they don't match. End of debate, right? Somehow it doesn't end the debate with these guys, right? Somehow estimate of the situation is still telling people that this hasn't been addressed, even though I've addressed it probably 3 or 4 times at least. The reason why I don't continue to address it is because it's been debunked. It's not even close. It's not even close to a match. The reticle is not even in the same spot. You can literally just see the reticle is not in the same spot, right? But supposedly it's a perfect match. Like, I don't know what these guys are thinking. Like, it doesn't make any actual sense. Like, their thought process and their logic works backwards, right? They start with the videos must be fake, so I'm going to come up with some sort of confirmatory arguments. And he's not the one that made this, of course, because they don't actually do what would be required to prove it. And this is why I say, how many pixels match? Because they don't actually do a comparison of pixel matches. If the Pyromania VFX matched, right, then the pixels would match 100%. And they would just use their editing software to show that the pixels match 100%. They don't do that because it's not a match. And if they did that, and they did a pixel comparison, they'd find out that because of the blue in the background here, it's probably like a 1% match or less, maybe almost a 0% match. It's not even the right colors, right? So it's silly. So, and what I'll say too, to the person that we kicked out of the Discord, right? Because I know there's some Redditors who are watching, right? We told, what was the name, Cenobite78 or whatever? He lied, and he refused to admit that he was lying. He said it would be easy to do. We told him to do it. He said no. He refused to do it. And then we could tell that he was lying. He's not actually a VFX artist or expert. He was pretending to be one. He was pretending to have expertise he didn't really have. And then I told him, all you have to do is get on your stream right now, turn the stream on, pull up your editing software, modify the Pyromania VFX, the one we see here, without comparing to the background, modify it blindly until you get it to perfectly match the MH370 video. When you think it's perfectly matched, you say, okay, I'm done, and then we'll do a comparison and we'll see if it perfectly matches. And we'll see how long it takes you to do that. And then, you know what? We'll even let you do it again. When it doesn't match, we'll let you try again. We'll mark a strike down and say you didn't get it. And then we'll see how long that takes you to do. Because I watched the Lore Lodge do it, and I watched them fail. Because it's not as easy. And he was comparing it in real time, side by side. So this idea that somebody blindly changed this into the thing that we see in the background here, where it has all these extra explosions here on the inner side. It has these things that you would delete here for some reason, extra dots that you would have to delete for some reason. There's no logical basis for changing it like that. You would just do, and the funniest part is he posted the Starship Troopers thing. These debunkers are so stupid. They're so dumb that they actually, they break their own arguments. He posted the Starship Troopers. He deleted it. Or I deleted it when he got banned, but the Starship Troopers VFX, that's a huge budget movie, right? Did they modify the Pyromania VFX? No, they put it directly in their movie. They didn't make a single adjustment to it. You can see the Pyromania VFX. When the asteroid explodes, you see this exact Pyromania VFX, not modified, not turned black, not changed around, just this exact VFX in Starship Troopers. So major big budget studio takes the VFX and puts it in there, because that's how VFX works when you use an asset. You just put it in your movie and you add it into your fake video, your fake video that's a still video of asteroids with one of the asteroids exploding. You don't painstakingly move all the pixels around and change it. You wouldn't do any of that. And that's just the one frame that's close. These other ones are like literally 0.1% of the pixels match, or maybe just none of the pixels match. Like, it's not even remotely close on the rest of these pixels, on the rest of these. So that's why he got banned, because he lied and he couldn't admit that he was wrong. And this is the problem with the debunkers, is they never admit they're wrong, and then they project that insecurity onto me because they can't admit that they're wrong, right? And they get angry about it, whatever. I'm stating objective facts. It's not an opinion in this case. I'll tell you when I'm giving an opinion. I'm telling you the fact that these don't match, and I'm telling you how you would have to prove it. You'd have to stream it, not make a video about it, literally stream it live so we can watch, so we know you're not cheating, because you guys have been caught falsifying evidence multiple times, including with this stupid frame matching thing as well. You persistently falsify evidence. And when you falsify evidence, we can't take anything you say seriously anymore. So I hope you guys understand that. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point anyway, because I'm stopping the investigation in a month, but it needs to be on the record for why the debunks don't count. They don't count because they're not accurate, because you falsified fake evidence to fake debunk a video. And honestly, that kind of thing, when you do this, right, and you're claiming you're the one who did it, if these videos get declassified, now you set yourself up for criminal conspiracy charges, because you went out of your way to falsify fake evidence to get people to think that those videos weren't real. That's seditious conspiracy, man. Seditious conspiracy, you don't actually even have to be a perpetrator, as we found out during January 6th. Just people that were at home, part of the riot, who supposedly organized it or part of it, they got 17 years in prison for seditious conspiracy for something they were not even a part of. So if you are out there and you are debunking the fate of 239 people, falsifying fake evidence in order to do it, you are, I mean, in my opinion, you deserve to go to prison for the rest of your life if you're doing that. If those videos end up being real, if they get like proven, I'm not saying like me saying they're real, but if the government comes out and says, yep, you got us, those videos are real, you should go to prison for the rest of your life. Right? This is not a UAP video of an anomalous random Tic Tac flying around. This is 239 people's lives where they had thousands of family members that were lied to by the media, by the governments, and you are helping to cover that up. You need to really check yourselves. Cashley, you are a moron, Cashley. Am I clear enough? Stop making fake arguments about what you don't know. You're not even a VFX expert, Cashley TV. I hate these idiots like Kreishley or whatever her stupid name is, where they all come out and they all fake pretend like they're VFX experts. None of these people are actually VFX experts. The same way the Corridor crew is not even really VFX experts. What they do is they adopt the ideas of other people and then they absorb them into their own. I saw this a lot during COVID as well. I saw even my parents doing it, where people literally just make up fake stuff and fake expertise that they don't have. And I literally told them what to do. Cashley, if I'm wrong about you right now, Cashley, I'm calling you a fraud and a faker, Cashley TV, right now. To your face, I'm calling you a fraud. I'm calling you a liar. You are not a VFX expert, and you're potentially a piece of shit. If I'm wrong, this is what you have to do. Pull up your stream right now. We're all going to watch you stream it. We're going to watch you pull up your VFX tools right now. We're going to watch you take this asset right here, this one right here. We're going to watch you take this asset, and we're going to watch you modify it to the back one right now. I will keep my stream up for you right now, and I will do it. I'm watching right now, Cashley. Do it right now. You cannot compare to the background. You can only take this one, and you have to blindly modify it. We're all going to watch you right now. We're going to your channel. Let's check it out. This is supposedly our VFX expert, everybody. You got 4 videos on here and 99 subscribers. Yes, I'm calling you a straight-up fraud. We want to watch it right now. We're waiting, Cry. We're waiting for you. The challenge has been set. I want you to take this frame right here. Don't compare it to the background. No comparing it. And I want you to modify it. And when you think you've got it to be a perfect match just from guessing, you tell us. You lock it in. Lock your answer in. And then we're going to compare it. We're going to see how close it is. Let's see it. Are you ready to go? We got your YouTube channel up. Are you done? Kreishley, are you done? We have the night off. Let's get it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nothing. Okay, well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow then. Make sure you get it set up. Yeah, I'm just sick of the bullshitters, you know, and the frauds and the phonies or whatever. You know, and I'm just going to let you know right now, Kreishley is not going to get it to match, and then she's going to have some excuse about why she wasn't able to get it to match, because that's how they work, right? The debunkers are not living in the realm of reality, and that's just the way it is. So after you fail with the first one, then I want you to try with the second frame, and I want to see how long it takes you to get the second frame to match as well. Since you say it's so easy, I imagine you'll be able to do it very quickly. We'll be looking for you tomorrow, Kreishley. I'll be excited. Make sure you make sure that my people know so we can watch it. We can all watch it in real time. I think that'll be a really educational experience for us. I'm glad you set yourself up for this. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, and I think that's going to be it for tonight. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, so I hope you appreciated or enjoyed at least the troll hunt. I don't really like doing these troll hunts. I don't like calling out the dishonest liars and the frauds and the phonies, but, you know, there was just a lot of it today, so we wanted to get it out there and keep it honest as possible with these people. The best thing that people can do is just let it go. If you think it's fake, let it go, right? Yeah, make sure you set the notifications. We'll get in there. We'll check it out tomorrow. Should be entertaining. Once again, I want to set the ground rules again for you, Kreishley. You cannot compare it to the videos. You can't have the videos up on a second screen. You need to blindly change it without looking at it, just like the person who created it. And then when you think you've got it as an exact match, then you can go ahead and lock it in and let us know. And then we'll watch and we'll see how long it takes. Seems exciting. Okay, guys, have a great night. This was fun. And tomorrow, we're going to probably do some actual science because I think that I've had enough of the bullshit drama and what have you. So there is a Skyfire space, but I don't know. I'm probably going to only do that one for a little bit. And then we're going to dig into some science because I have some better stuff than that. Kreishley, you're a clown.